Today's R&R show is brought to you by Starmork Dice Tower, a modular dice tower hex trace system and component vault. Coming soon to Kickstarter. And hello, friends. Welcome to the R&R show. And as we're talking about backstage, this is actually another R that we've got in here. Friends, I'm Will Gaviola. We got Chris George right there. And very special guest, Roland Reggie. Reggie, how the heck are you, my friend?
How we doing? Nice to see you. Spoiler alert, Ruel was just guesting on our podcast as well. So we just talked last week that he'll be coming out in an August episode. So yeah, nice to see you again.
I enjoy this. I like seeing you on a regular basis, Reg. It's very nice. Yeah, and as always, we've got Chris George right in the middle of things, the thick of things. Chris, what's going on, my friend?
I just got lucky. I got lucky to be this thorn in between two roses. I am thrilled. We're bringing it back. The R show.
Yeah.
Ray isn't here, but Roland Reggie, we've got two R's, and I think we got to bring it back. We got to bring the extended R show
that's right.
to the mix. This is really exciting, Reggie. It's exciting to hang out. I feel like I see you a lot in the chat of these shows, but this is the first time we've had you on ? Or am I forgetting having you on once?
Yeah.
Okay. I thought so, but it feels like one of those things where like I'm like, oh no, we must have had Reggie on this show before because I always feel like I see you in the chat and love seeing your comments pop up. So it's awesome to have you here, especially for the thing that you created that took the world by storm, the board gaming YouTube world by storm, the Midyear check-in. We got the man, the myth, and the legend right here, the guy who created it all.
Yeah.
So I just think that's pretty sick.
I'm awesome. Really excited about this as well. You know what I'm really excited about, though, Chris and Reggie, is the Starmork Dice Tower. So I feel like my camera is not doing this justice. This is our sponsor today. This is a dice tower, right, folks? You have all the different little trays here. So I've got trays and cards and minis and dice and all kinds of stuff here and these really cool things. And they're all... I'm going to show you right now. So I've got some meeples here, right? So let's say we're playing Carcassonne or whatever. On the other side, it's a coaster. I can put my drink here. Okay, I'm drinking the pineapple drink today. So a few of these are coasters. Now, what is really neat? So why don't I just, let's grab some dice here. We've got a D12 and a D10 here. And a dice. Okay, so I've rolled a 91. Not bad. I think that's okay. Dice... little trays and then cards as well. You can store your, I've got some Endeavor Deep Sea setback cards and also bonus goals that can go here so everyone at the table can see them. Also over here, I've got something from the Santorini expansion. I've got my character card. I've got the minis there ready to go. I love this thing, and I've got to show you. I mean, this is probably the nicest component I've ever seen. Take a look at this real quick, folks, and check out what I'm going to do. Everything's magnetized. In the words of Jesse Pinkman from Breaking Bad, magnets, yo. It's all about this. This is magnetic, okay?
That's the exact quote, too.
Isn't it, though? Yo, magnets, yo. I'm taking the top off of the dice tower here, and you're going to see inside here. Again, everything's magnetized. Oh, I'm ready starting to fall apart. But the little parts for the dice tower... This is all really nice wood, and I've taken these out because what you're going to do after you've played your game, you take these.
Oh, sick. That's where it all stores.
Yes, everything's good. We're talking about magnets, right? Everything's magnetized. They all go together. They're going to magnetize. There's two there.
Oh, the mess that you're making
over the board
is killing me here, Ruel.
You know what? For the plot.
This should have been a dice tower
for. This is the dice tower for those who like things organized and those who are Ruel. It's great because I'm away from Toronto, so I haven't played games with my buddy Zach in a while. But this is how my buddy Zach, reboxes things in the chaos gremlin way that Ruel was showing all beautifully. Could work with any game, could work with absolutely any components, any game. It's nice. You got your Santorini, works with Endeavor Deep Sea, and then works also also with the Chaos Gremlin and packed away, all neat and nice.
I guess I should have warned everyone. Okay, be warned. I'm going to make a big mess here. So I know how this could drive
Plus
some
the
people
underside
crazy.
posters.
Yeah.
I do like that it incentivizes you to spend your resources as quickly as possible, because then you can stop holding your drink.
Exactly.
That's great.
And look at this. So everything goes nice and neat, unlike my table right now. But look at this. So everything's inside now, right?
Sick.
And this goes here. Magnets. Look at this. And then where the dice come out, right in here.
Just rests on it, nice and neat.
Look at that. And there you go. The
Now,
Star Wars dice tower.
Oh, that's cool. It even makes the tower underneath. That's a really.
Isn't that great? I forgot this one. I love this thing. And friends, you can check it out over at starmorkplay.com and get more information there. I think this is just amazing. I've already used this in my game night at home. Totally blown away by this. The quality is above everything else that I've seen as far as a dice tower is concerned.
It's much better than my dice tower right here, which just is filled with water.
Yes.
And it doesn't really help me roll. Anytime I put the dice in this little spout, they don't come out. So yours seems a lot better than mine.
Yeah. Unfortunately, and I do not recommend putting a drink in this, although you could probably store plenty of liquid in here. But do not do that. Folks, starmorkplay.com. Go check it out for more information. Love it. That's the sponsor segment. Let's move on to what we're here for, the mid-year board game tag. Now, as Chris mentioned, we've got the man, the myth here. Reggie, let's talk about how the heck did you come up with this thing? What is this all about?
That's great. Wow, great question. I should got to go back 4 years ago because this is the 4th annual one. Do want to shout out John Tripp in the comments here real quick. The one man R&R referring to me. Love that. And also Omar saying that we've got 2 glasses represented. Chris, you need like some stage glasses or something here to match with this.
I've got some blue light on Rahdo's first video. I'm gonna run downstairs and grab them. Don't worry. I'll give the people what they want.
Yes.
So actually, I have to shout out BookTube, if that's a thing. I guess we're on. Ruben Board, Ruel, and we would be on BGTube. I guess if we want to call it that. But there's a booktuber who did this like mid-year check-in and had like, what's your favorite book so far this year? What's your least favorite book? What's your book that you're gonna read next? Like that type of stuff. And I was like, you know what? I'm gonna totally just copy this. I remember tagging that channel. I can't even remember what that was. It was 4 years ago, but I've done it every year. And this year, I had a baby, as most people in the chat know. My wife and I have a little daughter who's 6 months old now, and so I had not put out a single video in 2026. And people were like messaging me like, "Hey, we haven't seen you in a while. Are you going to do the mid-year tag?" And I'm like, "Of course, of course." And this year, I just changed up some of the questions, so it's a little fresh. So I hope you guys all enjoy. So thank you so much for bringing me on. I'm excited to talk about them. And I will say, I did this once on my YouTube channel already. I went and did it on the Board States pod that Ruel will be featured on very soon.
Yep.
But so now doing it a third time. So just so you know, these answers are my third tier answers. These are my runners up. So just know that.
Love it. Nice. Yeah, as Reg mentioned, I'm going to be appearing on the Board States podcast. Give that a follow, friends, to hear more of my choices. But yeah, I've done this. I haven't like officially done it except here on the R&R show, Chris, but I love these questions because it keeps, I don't know, we're all content creators, obviously, but it really keeps me on my toes. Like, okay, because things are like, it's super easy to forget stuff, as you know, because we all play a ton of games, and this is like a nice checkpoint every year. It's like, oh yeah, I really did like this. I'm going to note this now. So at the end of the year, when I start looking back, I sort of have this nice little moment in time where it's like, oh, okay, Ruel, I did play this game at this point, and because I forget all the time.
That's the reason why I like BG Stats is you can go back and search through, and that was super helpful for me. I was like, oh yeah, oh that's a good one. Oh, I did play that a lot too. Like it's easy to forget which ones you have been getting to the table and which ones you haven't. So I'd like that's one of my favorite part about tracking plays. I used to hate tracking plays, but now it's just so integral.
Yeah. I agree.
I will say, people who don't have it, it makes these questions a lot harder. I have had people complain to me like, I have no idea because I don't track anything, especially like most played and stuff. But then also, I've heard someone. Yeah, just go on vibes. That's fine. I love that for you.
Yeah.
But then also the end of the year thing was interesting. Someone said that to me, and I was like, that is a really good point. Is that by the end of the year, you've probably found some more games. This is pre-Gen Con. This is pre-Essen and other events that happen. So a lot of people get that recency bias, and you forget about games you played from January to June. And so I hope that that's another reason I like it too.
True. Yeah. We're going to be talking about a lot of games, so I think we should just jump right into it.
Let's jump into it.
Do it.
Yeah, and I've got some. We're going to jump right into it. Is it me that's first? Oh my gosh, I am first. Yikes.
Is it you that's first?
What's the order we're going in?
That's what I thought. I've got, we have someone else collate these list friends. So, we're just going to go by what they've done. By the way, if you're watching live, be sure to stick around because at the end, if we got some time, we want to talk about some of your mid-game board game tags.
That's true.
Mid-year.
We want to hear them all in the comments.
1,000 games. Yes, please. And of course, we'll be having Richard join us via the magic of video. So why don't I kick things off? The first question on Reggie's tag. So for those that don't know, Reggie posts these questions and then tags folks throughout the BG YouTube sphere. And then we all just give our answers. And here we'll be sharing via the magic of video. So let's start with question number 1. This is for all of us. Number 1, which game do you want to take a second date on a second date?
On a second date.
Yeah. AK impressed you most after a first play? Oh, wow. And I should have looked at this before. Didn't really. It's such a long question.
I know. I'll jump in real quick. I'll let the chat know too. We would love to see people's answers when they answer in the chat as well. Along with us, we'll just go each one. We won't post all of them in. But also, these do not have to be 2026 releases. Omar asked that. A lot of people they can be from any time. And one question specifically is definitely not a 2026 game. So let's do it.
All right.
And I like this because they are not 2026 games specifically, right? That's too much. That's too much. Buy everything that comes out. No, don't do that. Play the games you have. Play your friends' games. Do that instead. So that's what I really like about it.
Cool. So the first one I want to talk about is let's get it ready here. There it is. This is Nunatak, Temple of Ice. I had never heard of this game, but Cosmos sent me a copy last year, and it's terrific. This is a area control game, but it's 3D. So you're building this literally a temple of ice here. And I played this with Jake and Bailey over the Good Morning Society. On your turn, you're going to select one of the shapes or colors to place a brick down, basically a little ice block. Put one of those down, and then once you complete 4, you're going to be able to put the next level on there. And whoever has the most colors, or their color, the most color. So if I'm blue or whatever, I have the most blue, then I will gain more points than the next person, et cetera, et cetera. What's really cool about this, you build the entire temple. It's about a 45-minute game. So you'll have this really cool, neat-looking temple. Why don't I fast forward a little bit in the video so you can see some what it looks like towards the end here. But what's really neat is each turn, there's some set collection. So whoever has the most of, certain colors, or whoever has the most, part of their architect score, which is, hey, I built these things, et cetera, you get points based on the cards that you're playing and the cards that you're drafting. So it's sort of got this really neat mix of tableau building, and then the 3D element, the spatial element of it. I feel like this is an underrated game. I didn't really hear too many people talking about it, and I really enjoy it. Yeah. See, and I'd never heard about it either until it literally showed up at my door one day. So this is Nunatak, Temple of Ice.
I'd already forgotten the name when you had said it the first time.
Yeah.
Nunatak presence.
Yeah. Nunatak, Temple of Ice. It's what's really great is so the designer's Kane Klenko. He's done stuff like Dead Men Tell No Tales, also the real-time game, which I'm totally forgetting. It's the puzzle game, Fuse. He's got some really interesting games, and this one was interesting because it plays best at 3. You can play it at 2, you can play it at 4, which is fine, but for whatever reason, he said the rules say this is best at 3. I'm like, okay. But it's not a 3-player only game because you just do a couple of small tweaks for 2 and 4. But we had a blast with this one, and I would definitely recommend this one if you're into area control games. It never feels mean like some area control games, but I had a really great time with Nunatak, the Temple of Ice.
Sweet.
Okay.
Yeah, seems fun.
Yeah.
That's all I can say about it because I've never heard about it. Cool table presence.
Yeah, I love a 45-minute nice table present. That's right up my alley.
Okay.
You know what? There's three of us right here. Let's stop the stream. Ruel, bust it on the table, and you can just do all of our moves for us.
We can. Exactly. That'd be great. Hey, why don't we move right along to Reggie? You've got our next game under. What game do you want to take on a second date, aka impressed you most after a first play?
This is the question I'm most happy that we're doing this this stream with, because it was my third choice, and so I really want to talk about it more than the others even, and that is Rebirth by Dr. Rainer Knizia. It's technically like a 2024 release, but it didn't hit Germany till last year, and I don't think anybody in my like United States area had got their hands on it. This is great. I love the way this looks. It is so beautiful. There's the Scotland side and the Ireland side of the board. It is a very typical what do you call tile placement from the good doctor himself, the one and only living doctor, Rainer Knizia. What I love about it is, or what the reason I want to take it on a second date is I played it right away and I was like, wow, this is like Blue Lagoon. This is like Babylonia. This is like Through the Desert, all of which are already in my collection. And I said to myself, I don't need it, even though I really enjoyed this game. And come to find out, like last week or this exact week, it wins the Kenner Spiel, which I have a whole thing about. The Kenner is that I love all Kenner Spiel games, and I try to own as many of them as I can. And so I'm annoyed because now I want to go out and get a copy. The production is amazing, as you can see here on this video, which is so awesome. It is a really colorful board. It's kind of like a futuristic Scotland or Ireland. And it's, there's a lot of energy and windmill type theming is like trying to have the most efficient thing. But really, it's an abstract tile placement game. The Scotland side is like the baby game version. And that's the only one I played. And I really, really liked it. The other side is the Ireland side. And that is for the gamers, apparently, is what I've heard over and over. A lot of people just say, if you're an experienced gamer, just switch to the Ireland side. It's got all the typical stuff of just play down a tile. You might score some points right away. If you surround some things, you'll score a point. If you have some area majority in some things, you'll score points. You get these extra cards, and it's got that nice dopamine of every turn you're getting something, most likely getting points, and you just bump up the track over and over. It is really clean, really elegant, and I really want to play it again. That's Rebirth.
Yeah, great choice, Reg. I am also a big fan of the one and only Doctor, and I believe I talked about this recently on either a podcast or a live, but I love this game. I have not played the other side as well. I agree with you, like the main side is, terrific game. And I always feel like with Knizia's games, like, the base game or whatever always works just fine for me. Like, you can do the expansions and stuff like that. That's fine. But give me more Doctor all the time. I'm good with it.
While you guys were talking, I was looking up on Rainer Knizia's website, and I was like, how many spiels has Rainer Knizia won? I don't think he's actually won a spiel.
So he won a spiel. So this I do know the answer to this.
Like
Celtics is what you're going to say. Oh, wow. 2003.
Wow. Is that long?
Well, there's 2003, 2000, but he's been nominated. He's been nominated almost every year. And then there's also like a generation spiel as well. But there's like, Keltis is in 2008.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wow.
So, because I was wondering, it feels like it had been a while since he had won a spiel, but it's cool to see him get back into it. I mean, he's probably one of the most renowned board game designers on the planet, just from the amount of awards and the lists of awards that I was just cycling through is insane.
Yeah, it's kind of crazy. It's the fun fact about it is that him and the designer of Morty Sorty Magic Shop, which were competing, they both would have been the first designers to win all three. For the theater person, it's kind of the EGOT.
The EGOT.
Nice.
And so now he's won a Kinder, a Kenner, and a regular old spiel. So he's the first designer to ever get one of each, which is pretty cool.
That's wild.
That's
cool.
So fun. Right on. The Knizia EGOT. I love it. Okay. Chris, let's talk about your game. Which one do you want to take on a second date, my friend?
Yeah, I'm excited to take this one on the second date. Well, since I'm the last one before Rahdo, I'm just going to shout out some people in the comments too before we get into it. I think that's kind of fun. Sean in the comments is saying Grim Coven is his second date game.
Okay.
And then also John Tripp saying Grand Austria Hotel, waiting months for a second date. Both of those great games to take on a second date. They're both, I like them a lot. Nice. So I was excited to see them in there. So yeah, so drop yours in the comments as we go through on here on Twitch. But mine that I want to take on a second date is a great game. In fact, it's a great wall game because it's The Great Wall.
Nice.
I think The Great Wall, starring Matt Damon. I just saw this movie and honestly, it made me want to stop playing board games for pretty much the rest of the year. I saw it early and I only played it. And Matt Damon is just, so magnetic on stage, on camera rather. But I guess this brought me back into board gaming, The Great Wall, because of its connection to Matt Damon. I think this game is great. I hemmed and hawed way back when it was on crowdfunding. It's one of my only pledges where I pledged €1 and then I didn't follow through. And I was going to get the Meeple version and then I didn't. I was like, I don't know if I need it. But I just played it recently when I was in San Francisco at KublaCon, and we played a 4-player game of this, and it was awesome. It was really, really good. I loved the delayed worker placement that happens, and I wasn't sure how the flow of the game was going to work out, but I really like that everybody plays a card indicating what you're going to do, and then you kind of shift it around based around priority order. The priority gets to determine where in the lineup they want to play their card, and the cards are usually like, hey, I get to summon 4 people and you each get to summon 2 people somewhere. But there's a really fun balance of getting resources, building up this wall, and then also competing in area control-esque when you're taking down the hordes of the Khan who's attacking you or whoever's attacking you. I just thought it was really, really fun. It's one of those games which just it sang, I think it was a longer game, but I didn't mind the length. I really like the asymmetric powers that you get, and you can build up powers over time. Just interacting with this game felt very satisfying. I played the version with the minis, and the table presence was phenomenal. Of course it was. But it's the reason why a Meeple version doesn't exist anymore. I really enjoyed it. I think it's I've heard it's not great at solo, and it's not great at 2 players. And so you really want to have it in that 3 to 4 player realm. But the interactivity, because you're filling up the spots on the board, right? You want to have more players to have a full spot filled up, which can then pop off and give everyone resources. It's awesome. I'm seeing Kima saying, I love The Great Wall. Top 3 games for me. Yeah, nice. It's really good. I had such a great time playing it that one time. And it's one of those things where I would like to play it again for sure. It was on the tops of games that I've played out and about where I'm I would enjoy playing that again.
Yeah. And as Kim noted in chat, it's hard to find right now, too.
That's what I was going to say. I remember when this came out that it was on my radar, and then I've never seen it at a game shop or at my local board game club or anything. So I would like to try that.
Yeah. I think Chris has the only copy available now, folks. So.
I don't even have it. I played
you played your friend's
I played
copy.
Joe's version.
Yeah. Okay.
All right, Reggie, it is so good to have you on the channel. And first of all, let me give a huge congratulations on the birth of Phoebe June. That is fantastic. And also, let me apologize twice to you, man. One, I am so sorry that even though I lived not too far away from you for several years, we never got together and did any kind of collaboration on the channel. I think I found out too late. Maybe it was even after we'd already decided to move to Ireland that you were just across the border from us, and I'm sorry I never got around to see you in person. And also, I'd like to apologize that while we did do the Midyear check-in 2 years ago in 2024, we missed 2025, even though you tagged me. I have to admit, at the time, I was blissfully unaware of tagging as a thing. I didn't know I could track what channels had tagged me. And so I missed that you tagged me, and I didn't do, although, to be fair, I was in the process of an international move, but I just wanted to apologize. You extended an olive branch, and we were not there for you last year. That's why I'm very excited to have you on the channel this year so you can tell us some more. So, first topic is second date games, ones we want to go back and play a second time the most. This is a tough topic for me, but you guys, Chris, The Great Wall, I have played that both competitively and cooperatively. It's a good choice. And Reggie, Rebirth, I really want to go spend some more time with that because I only got to play the base game. I didn't get to see any of the expansion content that takes you from Gateway to Gateway Plus, so I'd love to check those out. And Ruel, Nunatak, of the three games you guys are talking about, is the one I'm most intrigued by because I love Kane Klenko. I'm a huge fan of his, and this is one of his few games I haven't had a chance to play yet. So I'm looking forward to hear you talk all about it. But anyway, back to me. Like I said, this is a tough one because if it's a game I really like, we're going to play it again. I went through all the games Jen and I have played so far this year, almost 100. And if it was a game we really loved, we have played it more than once. And if we haven't played it more than once, well, I'm not jonesing to get it back to the table for various reasons. I could have mentioned several expansions. Those I often only play once and then move on after I cover them. But I'm going to have to change it up a little bit and talk about the game that most engendered in me a burning desire to play again immediately. And the same is true for my wife. So we have played this several times now, but it was the one that we were most jonesing to play. What was it? It is Wildscape. And Chris, you're going to be interested in this because it's from designer Sebastian Bleasdale. And I know, Chris, you love Keyflower as much as I do. We're the two biggest boosters of Keyflower. And, I've been waiting for another design from Sebastian Bleasdale that would grab me as much as this one, and this has. There is no way this doesn't make my top 10 of the year. I cannot wait to get a final copy of it. I'll probably end up picking up at Essen Spiel. I will have a video for it out next month, and folks, if you like the idea of nature conservation and saving animals and all that, this is phenomenal. This is maybe the best Mancala-driven Eurogame I have ever played, and yes, I'm including Trajan. Absolutely phenomenal. Not much to say right now, but it's going to be rolling out in the month of August, so there'll be more to say. This was by far, of everything Jen and I have played this year, the one that as soon as we were done, we were like, or even halfway through the game we were playing, we were like, okay, we're going to set this up and play this again. Don't even take it down. Leave it on the kitchen table because we're going to spend more time with it. And we definitely did. The game that was our most desired second date this year so far was Wildscape. I know I cheated. I'm sorry. Back to y'all.
Okay, Richard. Yeah. I've not played this game yet. Any thoughts from you two?
Yeah, I was going to say, one, thank you, Rahdo, for the congratulations. And I did not say my baby's name, but PJ is her name. We call her that, Phoebe June. So thanks a lot for that, Rahdo. That's awesome. And of course, I forgive you for not doing the mid-year tag when you had to travel internationally, moving across the country. Very jealous. Would love to come visit in Ireland one of these days.
I don't forgive him.
Yeah, don't forget. No, you should. You should.
You can be the good guy. I'll be the bad guy. I'll be the heel.
You can be the good cop, bad cop. Yeah. But I do want to play that Wildscape. I'm a big fan of like Kavango, Darwin's Journey, Life. I'm looking right here. I've got my big, heavy nature themes. That's like one of my favorite. It is my favorite theming on games. So I think I definitely need to play Wildscape.
Mm-hmm. Cool. Okay.
Yeah.
Sorry.
You had me at Sebastian, and then you lost me at Mancala. I had a minor little tech glitch here, but yeah, I think it seems really cool. I'm just going to reload myself because I think I might have gotten a delay on myself.
Yeah,
but I'll just reload myself as you go on to.
No worries. We're going to move on while Chris, again, this is tech issues, folks. If you don't have tech issues, are you even live streaming, right? Chris will take care of that, and it looks like he's back. We're going to move into the next question on Reg's mid-year board game tag is, which game hit the table more than any other this year? And I'll kick things off. I've mentioned this a couple of times on, the last show we did R&R, and also if you're watching me or if you check me out on social social media, you'll know exactly what I'm talking about. The game that's really taken over my life recently is Mahjong, and specifically Filipino Mahjong. This is the Filipino rules, and there are not many videos out on this. I literally just found this woman on YouTube learning the game from her parents, so I'm like,
it's
okay.
my Filipino aunt.
Yeah, exactly. This is my tita so-and-so. This is just totally taking over my life and Michelle's too. I've relearned it. This was a game that was present in my childhood, as many Filipino American childhoods as well, where we had parties and all the aunties and uncles and parents were playing while the kids, played games or whatever. In my family, it was always either a poker table and or a mahjong table. And so I learned the game just sort of through osmosis over the years. And I just, it's one of those things, okay, cool. It was always sort of in the back of my mind. But until recently, folks, mahjong is having a moment. It is taking all types of different versions. You have Hong Kong, you have Malaysian, you have Vietnamese, you have Filipino, you even have an American Mahjong style. They're all being played everywhere. Here in LA, in the LA area, I can go to a Mahjong night every night of the week if I want to, a different one,
awesome.
either bar, restaurant, or whatever. Shout out to my friends, Mahjong, the Mahjong Sosyal over in LA. I've been going there every month, and it is a set collection game. It's rummy style. If you've ever played gin rummy, you'll know exactly how to play. It's literally just, hey, I need to get 3 in a row or 3 of a kind. And you're doing that through the tiles. You draw one, you discard one at the end of your turn. That's it. It's pretty straightforward, but oh my gosh. As far as a social game like this, it doesn't get much better than Mahjong, in my opinion. It's super chill, super casual. You can play cutthroat. You can play for money. I'm not saying that I do. I'm not saying that I will or ever. Maybe I have in the past. Maybe, I don't know. Well, I won't comment on those features, but it's a terrific game, and I know why. I feel like, I actually asked this from a few people, like, why is Mahjong having its moment? And the answer I get from a lot of folks is this is like the post-pandemic game. As people are relearning how to socialize, this is like one way to do it. And I think it's really neat that we can look at this game that's, I think, over about 150 years old, and everyone's sort of turning back to it. And it's just something very tactile about, shuffling those tiles. And these are big, chunky tiles. And to have those in your hand and to create the melds, 3 in a row, 3 of a kind or whatever, it's a real treat. And I can't even tell you I've probably played it about 40 times in the last month and a half or so. So that's my game, Filipino Mahjong, the game that's hit the table the most this year.
It's awesome. The OG deluxeification. That's what it is.
Yeah.
It is. It's like a Kickstarter style. I was going to say production quality through the roof.
Yeah. And, you can go to, if you have a Chinatown in your city, folks, you can literally go to the Chinatown and pick up a set for about $50. And if this was Kickstarter, it'd be $150. So go support local business. Get yourself a deluxeified version of Mahjong. You won't regret it. It is fantastic.
I was going to say, growing up, like our family, with my types of families that I grew up in family reunions, it was always spades. So I never played Mahjong until a few years ago, and my buddy brought it, and we played. I think we played Hong Kong scoring, and I do remember being very confusing, but liking it because I love rummy in general too. Yeah. I wanted to shout out near you, and we talked about this recently. You and I, off air. A shout out to the Punchboard Cathedral game room is in Ventura, California, and they do Mahjong and Magic on the same night. And so it's like half the game room is like Mahjong and half the game room is Magic. You should go down and check that out for sure.
Yeah, very nice. Cool.
Nice.
All right. Let's move on. Chris, let's talk about a game that's hit the table more for you this year.
Am I up next?
No, Reggie. Sorry, I'm looking at the wrong list. Okay, it's Reggie, you're up.
Awesome. And then Chris, you can shout out the chat on this here later, because I do include BGA on this when I do it, and so my first 2 games were with Challengers and Fliptoons, both auto battlers, but predominantly played on Board Game Arena. And I don't want to say the number; way too many plays. I love spamming those games. So the game that I'm talking about today, we're going to shout out to Rahdo here, is Tipperary, out there in the lovely Emerald Isle of Ireland. And I just completely discovered this game. It's a brand new, or it's only 3 years old, but I had never heard about it. So this year it did hit Board Game Arena, and I discovered it there. And I actually, one of the few times I bought this game like almost immediately and have my own copy. So I've played it more in person than on Board Game Arena. But what I like about it is that it is very family friendly. It's that Lookout Games family weight. You know, they have expert level and advanced, and it's like, what do these things mean? But you just typical polyomino, you get to pick from 2 based on where the spinner goes. That's the one thing that like I think heavy gamers would really not like, is that you just spin a spinner like we're playing Twister or something, and wherever your little insignia lands, you pick one of those 2 tiles. And I played it on Board Game Arena a few times before I realized what was happening. I'm like, how are we drafting these tiles? And then when you see it in real life, it's like, it's literally just a spinner. But it's got this cool thing where when you place them, there's just 5 different ways to score. The sheep, you know, if you get all the sheep together and whoever has the biggest flock is going to get bonus points. There's this whiskey and distillery thing, and if you put fields next to the distillery, you bump up this track that gives you some bonuses and a bunch of points. There's ways to get extra tiles by lining some things up. It is a nice family weight game, plays up to 5, and it's all simultaneous play. So, I mean, my wife and I knocked this 2-player out in like 20 minutes. So it is really, really fast. It's almost too fast. I think every time I play, I'm like, man, I wish I had like 2 or 3 more turns. But it's great. If you are looking for a little bit luck dependent polyomino game that the family can play with like nice components, I would highly recommend Tipperary.
Nice. Honestly, you had me at spinner. Like, when's the last time I played a game with a spinner? Like, I'm all for it. Like, I know it's silly, but I'm like, I want to do a spinner. Why not? You know?
Yeah.
So I forgot. So Reggie, is this available on BGA or no?
It is on Board Game Arena. That's where I discovered it.
Got it.
Yeah, it was on board, and I played it like a few times, and I was like, I think I need to buy this, and I did. Okay. And I like to go local, but I did buy this from Amazon. I'll shout that out because I was like, I want to get this to my house as fast as possible.
Yeah, this looks fun.
So I got that. Yeah.
Yeah. Cool. All right. Let's go back over here. Chris is a little fuzzy. That's probably the internet.
It's his glasses. He needs his glasses.
The new glasses.
My glasses.
The glasses. You look like you're censored, actually. It looks like you might be doing something a little adult here. It's like, this is
well, you know, I bring the risque to this stream. In Rahdo's next video, I'm going to switch my internet source. Yeah, the R stands for risque. I'm going to switch my internet source in Rahdo's next video. So I'll just bang through mine. But talking in the chat, there was talking about Pandemic Legacy. Arc Nova had a shout out. Pandora's Legacy as well is out there, which I think was the puzzle one that was out there, or maybe it's just Pandemic Legacy. But for me, I don't know which one. I put 2. So why don't you get up the one that you have on the screen, Ruel, and I'll talk about that one. Whichever it is.
Great Western Trail New Zealand.
Great Western Trail New Zealand. Yeah. So I put a campaign and a non-campaign one. I've played this a ton this year. I've gotten to teach it to a bunch of people. I love this game so much. And it was one of those games where like me and my buddy, we came over, we played it, and we're like, oh, that was a bit chunky because we kind of had to relearn some things. And then we got together the next week and we're like, do we just want to play Great Western Trail New Zealand again? I'm like, yeah, let's do that. I'm like, I have all these that I need to review, but I need to just play Great Western Trail New Zealand again. I love this game. I think it's so good. It is the best iteration of Great Western Trail that has ever existed. I never even want to touch the original anymore. It's one of those things where like they just learned everything they learned from the original is in here and better. I love delving into new combos. I love when I first approached this game, I was like, oh, you can really diversify. And you can't really in the strategy. You kind of have to do like regular Great Western Trail. You pick a lane and you stay in it. But the lanes are fun to explore. And I love the deck building that actually exists in this game where you're getting cards that when you play them, you get to draw cards. So you want to cycle your deck as much as possible. And like pushing that cycle is really exciting in a number of different ways. So yeah, I think it's an awesome game. I love it. it makes me so hot and bothered they had to blur my screen. And yeah,
you're looking good now. I think you're
just
looking good now.
sexy for Twitch. Yeah, looks good now, Chris. Yeah,
there we go. Well, maybe I don't have to change my hotspot. I switched to a hotspot because, but we'll see. We'll see as we go on. I might play around with it.
Nice.
But let's see what Rahdo has to say because we got more questions to go through.
Okay, Rahdo, let's talk about the game you played the most.
Okay, continuing on. All right, I said, most played. Yes, of course. Well, I think nobody is surprised. You've been playing a lot of Mahjong. You can't seem to stop talking about it. That's great. Why haven't you actually put any of it on your channel, I wonder, though? And this Reggie, Tipperary, really? I played that several years ago, and I thought it was actually I can see why you played a lot, because it's so fast, right? It's like a 20-minute, practically a filler-length game. But I remember the biggest problem I had with it is the copy I had, the spinner, just wouldn't spin very well. I mean, it span okay, but it seemed like it always landed in the exact same spot. I don't know if I just had a funky spinner or something like that. It was a nice little game. And yeah, certainly considering how fast it is, it certainly makes sense. All right. Oh, but Chris, I love your approach to this because it's really easy to say, whatever campaign game. Of course, I played that the most because it's a campaign game. So you did too. And Iridia, yeah. You just can't stop going on about Iridia. I get it. It's great. But New Zealand, Great Western Trail, New Zealand, yep, that is certainly the best of the GWPs, except no, it's not. As far as I'm concerned, I'd rather play El Paso, but I know I'm very unique and alone in that estimation. Anyway, though, what did I play the most? I'm going to borrow from Chris's playbook and mention two here. For starters, let's talk about campaign play. Well, it would have to be Cozy Stickerville, because Jen and I played through the entire, it was either a 10 or a 12 chapter legacy campaign. And we loved it to bits. It was absolutely delightful from start to finish. I cannot recommend it highly enough. Corey Knizia, if this is to be your swan song, it was an excellent, wonderful little gem of a game. And I'm really happy Jen and I got to experience it. Almost not a game, almost more of just an experience Jen and I shared, because you can never really lose. You just keep moving forward and, building a bigger, better town. It was a delight. But putting campaign play aside, of course, I had to play it a bunch of times. What standalone game did I play a bunch? Probably none more than Akropolis, because this is the year that I got my hands on both expansions, the Akropolis Pantheon and Akropolis Athena. So I played with and without both of those expansions, and those two expansions combined are both so fantastic. One introducing a new way to do variable objectives, the other turning it into a cooperative tile layer, which is rare indeed. Those two expansions combined have actually catapulted this now into my top 100 games of all time. Akropolis was sitting in the top 150. Now it's in the top 100, one of the greatest tile layers ever, because both of those expansions are phenomenal. I know some people are sad you can't mix and match the expansions, but that's fine. If I'm going to play competitive Akropolis, I bring in Pantheon. Otherwise, I bring in Athena. Oh, I think I just got those backwards, but you get the idea. Akropolis was already fantastic. It was already a keeper, but it is all-time great, and just talking about it now makes me want to play it some more. Akropolis, which has gotten more time on my table outside of campaign play than anything else so far in 2026. Okay, back to y'all.
All right. Thanks, Richard. Yeah, both those games I've enjoyed. Akropolis, I just got that expansion Richard was talking about, so I'm looking forward to diving into that for the solo aspect of it, because it is a co-op expansion, but I would like to play it solo. And Cozy Stickerville, I played it a couple of times, someone else's copy. I really want to get my own copy so Michelle and I can just go through it. I think it'd be a really fun experience. So both those games, looking forward to getting on the table. How about y'all? Have y'all played that one?
Cozy Stickerville is one of those, every single person that I've seen talk about it, especially people I respect on the internet, are like, why in the world would I play a game that's called Cozy Stickerville? It looks like a Facebook game. Why did Corey Knizia stoop to this level? What type of game is this? And then they play it and they're like, yeah, we played it every night for 2 weeks and it's our favorite game of the year. So I'm like, I'm just going to have to try it, because I had the same hesitation. I think my wife and I would really like it. And I kind of want to, I know you can play it twice twice, but I want to play it twice with my wife, and then I want to buy a copy, leave it in shrink for my 6-month-old daughter until she's like old enough to play it.
Yes.
So I literally want to buy 2 copies of it just if we like it. And then Akropolis, I do not. I played the original. I did not know that Athena was on Board Game Arena, the expansion. So I'll be trying that very soon.
Nice. Yeah. Cool. Uh-oh, did we lose Chris again? I feel like it's a little glitchy.
Yeah, I haven't played Cozy Stickerville. I feel like I'm fuzzy.
Yeah, you're fuzzy again. And Richard had mentioned something in video, Chris, and talking about Iridia. We had sort of skipped over that, but that was your most played legacy or campaign game, right?
Yeah, I've been playing through it with my buddy Zach, and we've been having a great time with it.
Nice.
Awesome.
Cool.
Sorry, KJ in the chat, I'll just say we were talking about Cozy Stickerville. And then Kim, I agree that I think a lot of people, because a lot of people did their YouTube videos or put it on Instagram or Discord or whatever, and a lot of people were saying Cozy Stickerville is their most played game. So I just really want to see what the hubbub's all about.
Yeah, it's light and I don't know, it's fun. It's a really cool game. So, Chris is back to normal self. He is he's still too sexy for Twitch, but we're going to continue on.
That's what I was waiting for.
Yeah, we're going to continue on with our number 3 question for the Midyear board game tag. This one is, what was your biggest surprise and/or disappointment? So, I'll kick things off here. I've got my biggest surprise was this game here. Just played it on Good Morning Society, joined by Amy Dallin, Jake Michaels, and Bailey Myers. We played King of Tokyo Godzilla. And the reason why it surprised me, friends, is I mean, I love King of Tokyo and I love Godzilla. Godzilla, one of my favorite IPs. But honestly, I was like, I mean, it'll be cool, whatever. It's my favorite version of King of Tokyo. Hands down, by far the best one. Number one, the art. They've redone the art, so it's like, it's like the original Godzilla now. So, you know, we all knew what King of Tokyo was based on, right? Gigazor was Godzilla. The Big Ape, that was King Kong. Now we have the official, so we can actually call it Godzilla, Mothra, etc., etc. And the art that they did was sort of like, I don't know if it's like 70s or 80s, or maybe it's like the OG art, so it looks really cool. They have these nice, the chunky dice are still there, but they're wooden. The little energy cubes are like little energy lightning bolts that are wood. It's great. And what I love about it is they've incorporated in the evolution expansion. So that's part of the base game now. They call it, hey, after you played like standard rules, throw in the evolution rules, which I always do anyways. It's easy enough to understand. And the new thing that they've added, which I absolutely love, are these event cards. So we have a market of cards that you level up. You can, buy them for the energy that you gain each turn. And then you can, that's basically how you get asymmetric powers in this game. The events, though, what's cool is once they show up in the deck, if they show up in the market, they take a one-time effect that is constant until someone buys that card. So sometimes it's good, sometimes it's bad. So like one event card may be, hey, whoever's in Tokyo gets to deal an extra damage. And then if you don't want that anymore, you buy it and then you discard it. It gives you a different discard ability. So if you bought that, then maybe you get to heal 2 or whatever. It's great. This is by far my favorite version. And honestly, with the Evolution expansion built into it now, I'm probably just going to get rid of my old King of Tokyo copy. No reason to have both. Yeah, this is how much I love it. This is my biggest surprise of the year so far, King of Tokyo Godzilla.
I'm really annoyed to hear this from you, to be honest, because I really did not want to, because I am a Godzilla fan too. I still haven't watched Godzilla -1. That's a big a detriment for me.
It's the best.
I have the Dark Edition of King of Tokyo, and it's like one of my prized possessions I will never get rid of. And I still, every year we have one couple friends of ours that when they come over, that's all they want to play with us. It's just their favorite game. It's 2 guys and they love to just kill each other. So it's great that they do that. Nice. I want to shout out a GameCube game I played back in the day. I have 3 or so sleeper games from my childhood that I've been talking about anytime anybody wants to hear. And one is called Godzilla Destroy All Monsters or something. Do you remember playing this, Ruel? Does that sound familiar at all?
I didn't play it, but I remember. I know exactly what you're talking about.
It was like an arena fighter. It had all the characters. That's where I learned them all. And it's being remade for PC in 2026. It's coming out in like November, and I am buying it like day one, like remastered or whatever. So anyway, I just want to shout that out. Cool.
That's great. I love it.
Sick.
Yeah. I'm going to move on quickly to the next game on my list. So we're talking about biggest surprise. I'm going to talk about my biggest disappointment. And this really hurts me to my heart. This really hurt because I love this game. So my biggest disappointment this year so far, Meeple Vacation. So full disclosure, I am part of the ownership group of Play to Z Games. This is one of our games. The reason why I'm disappointed with this game, it did not fund on Kickstarter. I was heartbroken because this game is fantastic. Beck and I played it with the designer, Dino. He showed us the game. Folks, if you ever played John D. Clare's game, Rolling Heights, this is the game that inspired it. Dino and John know each other. John loved his game so much, he asked Dino, hey, do you mind if I use this mechanism of rolling meeples, and then however they land, they determine your actions? And Dino's like, of course. So he went ahead, did he did Rolling Heights, terrific meeple rolling game. I honestly like Meeple Vacation better, and it's really cool because you're taking this fun theme of, hey, these meeples are going on vacation. They're in a water park. You drop them down the slide, and then however they land is what actions and or spaces you get to trigger. It's a lot of fun, and unfortunately, I mean, crowdfunding. What are you going to do? You know, it didn't fund. So we are going to come back at some point in the near future and get this thing funded, folks. But I was really disappointed because I love the game. Not a disappointment with the game, just disappointed we didn't fund. Okay. Why don't we move right along to, I think it's Reggie. What's your biggest surprise and or disappointment?
And I want to shout out this question because I actually removed it in 2025 because a couple people, but specifically Rahdo, really does not like to talk negatively or do a disappointment. I would like to predict he probably did not do a disappointment on this episode that we're doing right now. Okay. But I wanted to bring it back because I think it's okay to talk about a game that you're disappointed about, or even in what Rel just did. I think that's a great example too. So for me, my surprise on the positive note is the Networks Primetime, which I just played at Origins. I'm wearing the shirt here. And so when I first recorded this video, I had not played it yet. It is really cool. And I was kind of just surprised by it. I kind of went into it like, I've heard good things about the original, and this is kind of a reprint. But man, is it such a fun game. And it's very much drafting and kind of set collection or tag collection, if you might want to say that. But we played it 4-player with 2 strangers from Kentucky at Origins. And I had a great time. I really loved the mechanisms, but I also loved the humor. Like all the different like plays and puns on TV shows is so great. There's a picture of what's clearly Larry David, and it says the producer who cannot act. And there was like Law and Order, and it was like a bunch of stink lines drawing out. It's just a stinky like crime show. It was just really cool, and I loved the racing for the objectives. There's a lot of like racing to be the first one to get a certain number of drama shows or a certain number of sci-fi shows. There's a little bit of bump tracking. You have to like tuck ads underneath certain shows that you put on air, and if you put a show in the morning slot or the evening slot, you get bonus points by certain cards. So there was just a lot going on for a pretty medium weight game. And I had a great first play of it. So this could also have been my second date one, but that was my biggest surprise since I recorded this video was the Networks Primetime.
Nice. I remember I really enjoyed the Networks, but I had no idea. I haven't played this one yet, but I do love the puns and stuff.
I think it's just a reprint.
Is it a reprint?
Yeah,
okay,
I don't think they did too much mechanically, but I never played the original. I know it's harder to find too, so I'm glad that they did this too. That's a positive surprise.
Right on. Okay.
And then
what's your
my disappointment?
Yes.
And mine. Oh, are we going for me?
Yeah.
Okay, great. So my biggest disappointment is mostly because of the designer pedigree, and that is like one of the rookies of the year, Thomas Holek's small box card game called Pondscape. And this is like a frog themed game. And honestly, it's $20. It's got great production. It's more complicated than I want it to be. So that maybe that's unfair to the game, but it's like if I'm playing a small box card game like this, it kind of breaks your brain in how it works. It's almost overwrought is the word I would use. And you can even try it on Board Game Arena. It's a solid game. I love the theming of the frogs and collecting all these bugs and everything. But just moving around with the game, it just didn't click. And I've played it in person and then I played it online. And I really just was disappointed. I might have went into it with too high of expectations, to be honest. But it just was clunky and fiddly for a game that's supposed to be a small box card game from a great designer too.
Yeah. I get that. They all can't be hits, that's why.
Yeah.
That's why you got to be like Rainer Knizia, do 700 games. You're bound to have a hit in one of those.
Exactly.
You'll get a spiel every year if you do.
You get a trio of them.
Nice. All right. Chris, you got some surprises and disappointments for us.
Yeah, to shout out a couple in the chat first. Sean saying biggest surprise compile and biggest disappointment origin story. And then Kim was saying Kokeshi, definitely my biggest surprise of the year, and Koi as a close second. And then biggest disappointment, Stone Saga. So that's just some thoughts from the chat. RPG. But for me, my biggest surprise happened at Canada Plays with the great Rodney Smith, where we played Here Lies. Here Lies is so frickin' good. I immediately emailed the publisher and I was like, yo, give me, I want to do content on this. I want to shout out this game so much. Nice. It's so friggin' fun. You need somebody to run it. You need a storyteller. So Rodney was kind of like our storyteller, giving clues. You're a clue giver. And then you have a team of people. It says you play 4 people on the team, but we had 6 around the table. You're all just trying to figure out this murder. And the whole goal of the game is you need to figure out the murder. You need to say that so-and-so did it with the axe in the library. And the clue giver is listening to all of your conversations. And at certain points during the game, they'll let you know if you have ever said the correct word relating to one of these things. Mm-hmm. So if you were talking to each other, you're like, I think it was in the library, or it was in the conservatory, or maybe it was down by the beach, or maybe they drowned, or maybe they did this. Well, you might have said the correct thing. And they'll say, yep, you said this. You said the murder weapon at some point. And it may not be a murder weapon. All you know is somebody has died. The theme is Sherlock Holmes has been invited to your detectives club and you're trying to stump Sherlock Holmes. So you're given just basic information, and then you have action points which can tell you clues from the storyteller. So I could spend 2 action points and have the storyteller draw the wound on the body, what the wound kind of looked like. And so it's this really cooperative thing. The storyteller's trying to get you to get the right answer. And I'm like, this seems dumb. I'm like, whatever. It's a big mystery that we're doing together. Who cares? But the mysteries are so fun. The clue system is so fun. Man, oh man, this game is good, and I'm excited to show it off to everybody. Rodney ran it for so many people at Canada Plays, and he had a good time doing it. I could see why. Even just being the storyteller or the clue giver, whatever it's called, awesome.
Cool.
Go friggin' check it out.
Yeah,
I heard amazing. Other people who were there. It must have been Kavre or Jenna. The other Canadians were saying the same thing.
Yep.
So I'm going to put DVC on my list to reach out to as well. They're a great publisher. They make some cool, unique games.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So they're sending me that and a couple others. I was like, what are your other amazing ones? Because clearly you're amazing. I'm so excited to do a compilation video. Nice. My biggest disappointment was Galaxy Trucker. I played Galaxy Trucker for the first time this year, and the premise of Galaxy Trucker sounds so friggin' fun to me, of this chaotic game of trying to build a ship, and your ship's going to be exploding along the way, and parts of it are going to be falling off, and all that sounds really fun in theory. In practice, either I wish the time was, when I was playing with my buddy Zach, he's chaos, so he flipped the sand timer as quickly as possible every single time, and even cheated a little bit and flipped it too soon, and that was more fun because we all had really janky spaceships, and when we had enough time, we all kind of had an okay spaceship, and then I found that there seemed to be a pattern of what you really needed to search for. And so it just ended up being, okay, flip over tiles, throw it back until you try to find the things that makes your spaceship perfect. Mm-hmm. And so I didn't really get the promise of things shooting off your spaceship as and I felt like it was a bit. It just didn't live up to my expectations of it, which was a bummer because I like the concept a lot. But after a few plays, I was like, you know what, this isn't for me. Not interested.
I hear you on that. I've played Galaxy Trucker twice, and both times totally fell flat with me. I love the concept of it. And John in chat says 100% with you on Galaxy Trucker. Great on paper, weirdly not enjoyable. Yeah, it wasn't for us, obviously. Yeah. But it's one of those games. Let's move on.
I haven't played it.
Yeah.
I'll just throw it. I haven't played it. I like Fit to Print, which definitely is inspired by that. So maybe check Fit to Print if you did. It doesn't promise anything like that. I just, different theming, but.
Yeah. I like the theme better in Fit to Print. I just like the gameplay better. So that's a great choice, Reggie. Why don't we go to Richard and find out what his surprises and disappointments were?
Okay, that was embarrassing. I just noticed for some reason OBS had my video and my audio out of sync on the first two entries. My apologies for folks who are bothered by that. Hopefully it's fixed now. Anyway, what's the next topic? Oh, a surprise. Surprise! All right, well, that was my surprise. That even though I've been doing this for almost 15 years, I still make, total newbie goofs like that. Anyway, what did you guys talk about? Actually, honestly, Ruel, Chris, your games are of no particular interest to me. Not my bag. But Reggie, the Networks Primetime, yeah, that surprised me in some really big ways. It surprised me in the ways that it streamlined the gameplay of one of the networks, which has been in my top 100 games of all time for a long time. I've always loved the networks. And all the little tweaks and whatnot to Networks Primetime was a big surprise to me. So I will join you there. But for me, my biggest surprise has to be Railway Boom, which actually came out last year, but I did not get it to the table until 2026, and I bitterly regret it because my biggest surprise was, even though I had zero interest in the subject matter, I am so overtrained games, this turned out to be the best game of 2025 as far as I'm concerned. I know I'm not alone because pretty much every board game channel that talked about it in 2025, the Dice Tower, Amy and Maggie, every place I saw kept talking about how surprising this game is. And when I finally got to the table, I agree. This is so much better than I thought it would be. This is in my top 50 games of all time now. And again, I'm a guy who is not even remotely interested in train-themed games anymore. But Hisashi Hayashi, this is his true masterpiece. And he has put out so many amazing games over the year. And hey, let's give credit where credit's due to Simone Luciani as well. What a great team up of two of the great all-time designers making the greatest Euro train game the world has ever seen. I did not expect much going into this game, and man, it blew me and Jen away. She also put it in her top 10 of the year. Actually, no, it's going to probably be in her top 10 of 2026 because we didn't play it till 2026. But for me, this is the best game of 2025, the greatest train game of all time. I did not expect that. Kel Surprise, that's me with Railway Boom. Okay, anyway, for me, folks, the biggest disappointment, and it was a heartbreaker, was the Sims board game. Because Sims is very near and dear to my heart. I was the chief creative on the Sims console game. When the Sims got brought over from PC to PlayStation and Xbox and GameCube, back when I was a video game developer, there were at least half a dozen different developers that had tried and failed. And when I was working at Edge Reality, we were the developer that actually cracked the code and turned it into a compelling, a console experience, because there was a lot of work that had to be done. And I was very proud of the part I played in that. And I had a great time working on it, hanging out with Will Wright and all kinds of stuff. So I've been waiting for a good Sims board game for my entire board game journey. For almost 20 years now, I've been playing modern board games, wondering where is our Sims board game going to be? And we finally got it. And oh my God, this captures none of the magic of The Sims. Pretty much everything that is what The Sims is all about, this game just jettisons and turns it into a take that party style game with a light sprinkling and Sims on top. And I don't know, maybe I shouldn't consider it my most disappointing because I was nervous going in. I'd already read the rules. I'm like, this doesn't seem like it's true to The Sims experience, but I'll give it a try anyway. I went in thinking it was going to be and I guess it was still my most disappointing because I did not realize just how far away, how badly it would miss the target, and how important Sims is to me in my own personal life journey to see it botched like this when The Sims is ready-made to be a phenomenal board game, but this game didn't do anything to hit the mark. And oh man, I mean, I broke my heart. My biggest disappointment, Sims board game. Oh, ouch.
All right, Richard. Let's move right along. Got a lot of games to cover. We're going to go into our fourth question on Reggie's tag list here. This one is, what game's production or art has impressed you most? And this one was an easy one for me to answer because I've been playing it recently. This is Tidal Blades 2, Rise of the Unfolders. Now, if you follow me on socials, I started this game from the very start with my friend Bonzinator, a friend of the show, a friend in real life, and we both have a copy of this game. We're like, we need to play this. And we just said, let's meet every Saturday at a local coffee shop and play through it. And we started doing this and we've had a blast. This video is actually from a couple of years ago. James Hudson came over and we did a paid preview of the early production copy of it. I love this game. I love it's sort of got this Euro style mechanism where you're laying cards down in this 3x3 grid, and that's going to determine resources and actions. But then it's got this really cool dungeon crawl campaign to it as well, set in the Tidal Blades world. I love this world. I think it should be like an animated miniseries because it's a beautiful world, a lot of cool characters. But that's my the artwork that's impressed me the most so far this year. Tidal Blades 2, The Unfolders.
I will say, Ruel did just drop a secret that the third one is going to be called Tidal Blades. So just a little spoiler for everyone out there.
Sorry, folks.
Keep your eyes peeled for Tidal Blades coming to a game store near you. That's all we can say. That's all we can say. I don't want to break the story.
He's on embargo. He can't talk anymore. But
nice. Who's next? Reggie, your production art. Yeah.
Yes, and now I'll just shout out the one my answer on my YouTube channel for production was the Unmatched TMNT Adventures, and I got to shout that out. I love it so much. Yep. But the answer that I brought here for you all today is a game that actually just funded, and that is called Counterpoint. I even have my little prototype copy here. I think there's a good video. And this is a cooperative trick-taking game from a Seattle designer named Ted Manshaller, and it comes in that. Let me just look at that art right there. Kavre, shout out to Kavre up there. The art is just so beautiful. I love this, like, these anthropomorphic animals, kind of, not even really, just an armadillo playing a piano. It's in that co-op trick-taking, like The Crew or like Fellowship of the Ring, and you've got this nice little this ringed binder for the music, and there's like 50 different scenarios in there, and the wooden components for the little for the music notes. It's just beautiful and in such a nice compact thing. If you like those games but you want a unique theme, like, again, classical music, definitely check it out. But the art for me and the card quality and everything, just for my prototype version, were so nice. So I got to shout out Counterpoint. And I do want to say one more thing about it is there's a concert variant where you play like a easy mode, a medium, hard, and a virtuoso are the 4 levels of it. But you play 2 of them, and then you can use all your abilities, but they don't refresh until the intermission. You refresh all your abilities, and then you play the hard and the virtuoso after that. It's great. So shout out to Counterpoint.
Nice. I had talked about this on Good Morning Society a few months ago, and seeing the copy now, like production copy, this looks beautiful. This is like way better than I expected. I love that. So very cool, Reg. Nice call. Chris, what about you?
Well, this is a game that had me jumping on Oprah's couch and screaming. That was my level of excitement for the production quality of this game. And this is Puerto Rico 1897, the special edition from Awakened Realms. Like, the thing, I have a whole unboxing where you see me actually drown in my own saliva, and also my head combusts and it splatters all over the board because I was so blown away by it. But the thing that really got me is that I love setup and teardown. I love efficiency of setup and teardown. They have beautiful trays for all of the buildings, so it's just set there. You can just pull it out, no problem. And then, more specifically, because the annoying thing about Puerto Rico, and my original Puerto Rico game, is that you have to have a different number of colonists and different number of victory points for every player count. It's annoying. You got to count it out every time. What they did is they made a separate little tray for 2 players, and then you add in another tray for 3 players, and you add in another tray for 4 players. So it's already all counted out. On the inside of it, it tells you how many colonists are in there, and they even made all those colonists different sculpts so that you know what you've taken out, and it's so easy to put away. You're like, oh, I put all of these regular sculpts in here, the 2-player set and the 3 and the 4. It's just so friggin' brilliantly designed. Like, their Castles of Burgundy, I've unboxed it. A friend had it. Meh, it was fine. It was deluxe, whatever. This, like, the usability behind this, they clearly learned so many lessons, and it just friggin' blew me away. So, but I still recommend just getting the base game if you don't love Puerto Rico. Like, you don't need it. Come on, let's be real. But if you are a big fan of Puerto Rico, and I've always been a big fan of Puerto Rico, it was like very, very monumental in my like board gaming journey. It was like my step after Catan. And I love the follow mechanism. So like, I'm so thrilled to own that as a copy. Not everybody needs it, but I need it. And it's just beautifully done. It's absolutely beautifully done.
Yeah.
I have to react to this one because it's breaking my heart. Ruel and I just talked about this game and how much I like this game. Puerto Rico 1897. I have the Ilya version, and I was so excited that they, did a whole overhaul of the awesome theming and got rid of the problematic stuff. And I played this game yesterday. 5 players. I taught it to 2. 2 buddies hadn't played it. And we had such a blast. I had so much fun. 5 players in an hour. And I was like, you know what this game needs? So I want to look at the special edition, but I didn't even want to look it up. Does it fix the buildings? I can see from that video, it seems like the buildings have their... Does it have the description of what they do on them? And it all looks so good. And I was just like, I can't believe how amazing it looks. And you just said something that blew my mind. The Castle of Burgundy Special Edition is the nicest thing I have in my collection. And you said it's garbage compared to that. I have to get it. I don't know what I'm going to do now. Like Castle Burgundy, it is nice. Like I like, obviously the quality is really nice, but I just thought there's even like little finger holes on the side of the trays they've learned. Like in Castle of Burgundy, at the bottom of the tray, they don't have that. And so like it was really interesting to unbox both within like a very short span of time. And to see that difference. And I was like, oh, that's sick. Like they've really learned a lot as they've gone through, because Castle of Burgundy was the first one. And then so it's just that setup factor that just like made me scream at Oprah.
I want to scream at Oprah too. That sounds amazing. Let's see what Richard's got for his game production art that's impressed him. And that didn't work. Why don't I press some more buttons here and try to make this happen?
Let's see if he even cares. Let's see if he likes anything. And if not, we're just going to move on.
We may have to move. No, you know what? Here, talk about Puerto Rico some more since we're here.
I mean, it just looks amazing. Yeah. Was that Gaming Rules video? That's what it looked like.
It was, yeah.
That does look, I mean, just, okay, so the boats. I'm looking at the picture here that's on screen because I just played this yesterday. Man, I love it. So it's all dual layout boards on the player board.
Yeah.
Oh man. Man.
I know it's one of those things where like I'm really sort of anti-deluxification. Well, I'm not. I like you. It's nice to have nice things, but I'm very cheap as well, right?
Yeah, exactly.
So I really try to not hype up things without just cause. I do find that it's a bit of a larger table presence than I want it to be. If we're talking about downsides,
okay.
It kind of takes up more of a table. If you have a smaller space, it's nicer to have the smaller tiles and whatever. But Chris,
you need to tell me why I shouldn't back this game. Okay, I need you to tell me why I shouldn't back it. That's your job.
I had a video. I did the 5 reasons on this one. Yeah.
Okay, I need to go. I'm gonna go watch that.
If Puerto Rico is not in like your top 30 games, you don't get it. Or 50, your top 50. I'll extend it.
All right.
I think it is. I think it is in my top 50 now. I think it's definitely in my top 50. Yeah.
We've got Richard online now. All right, Richard, what you got for us?
All right. What's next? Oh, production. Well, yes, Tidal Blades 2 looks very pretty. I have not seen it in person, but no denying it looks gorgeous. Reggie, Counterpoint. I have to admit, I tend not to pay attention to trick-taking games, so I wasn't even aware this thing exists. It looks nice, but I'm going to need to hear your story as to why this stands out above all else. And then Chris, less said the better. I'll just borrow from your page and say, meh. But anyway, let's talk about my most impressed art production. That has got to be, hands down, Viking Route. Or Route, if you prefer, Chris. This thing is absolutely phenomenal. Gorgeous art, wonderful, colorful, evocative, adventuring, Vikings in this, cooperative survival at the high seas game. Really wonderful components. Can't quite, there's a better shot of it. The fact that your player board is an actual 3D Viking ship and you literally raise or, take down the sails to determine how fast your ship is going to go. So this is really, really cool. It has really nice miniatures. 4 of them that are really super duper high quality. The Ravens on the outskirts that you control to specify how your ship is going to survive in the high seas, and then the central one that represents the wind that is blowing if you've got your sail raised. These miniatures are phenomenal, but the overall game just comes together, between the art and the production and everything. But more than anything else, the really important thing about this game, from folks who don't know it, where is your player piece that represents our Viking ship at sea is a literal functioning compass. And what you need to do to be able to sail around the sea is manipulate the magnets that are in the miniatures to represent the changing winds or, Odin's ravens that specify which way you're going to go. Because as you rotate this, it's going to change the, orientation of the magnetic field and change the direction your ship is going to move in. And the thing is, it is not easy. There is nothing more standard I can think of in board game production methodology than miniatures that have magnets with both positive and negative ends that have to be perfectly integrated so that they don't affect the aesthetics of it, but work in this game works so well. The production had to be perfect and precise, or this whole thing could have imploded. Now, it's a fun game, really, really cool, pandemic-esque, lots of spinning plates, lots of fires to fight as you try to complete your objectives, but it all would have failed miserably if publisher Ares Games had not knocked it out of the stratosphere with probably some of the most challenging and the most successfully implemented board game production probably that we're going to see all year. So I've got to give the nod to Viking Route. Okay, back to y'all.
Okay, thanks, Richard. Viking Route, that's new to me. So a game that I want to check out. Appreciate that, Richard. I knew that was coming. I love it.
It looks fine.
Yeah. It's fine. Let's move on to question number 5 on Reggie's list. This one, this is one of my favorites to answer because this one is something that I'm always thinking about. Question 5 is, what has been your most reliable introductory board game? I like to game with lots of new gamers. It's just the way things happen, and I love that. And for me, it's a really easy question to answer because this game has been a hit ever since I played it. It was my all-time favorite dexterity game until I learned Crokinole, but this is still my 1A, if Crokinole's number 1. This is Tumblin Dice. I brought this to a game night at Good Time Society, the studio. We have a occasional game night, and I brought it there, and they didn't let me take it back. They just said, you need to leave this here. It's like, okay, fair enough. I love this game. What you're doing is you're taking dice, regular D6s, and those that board there is actually like a little staircase. So level 0 starts here, and then it tumbles down to level 4, and you have, I think it's 3 or 5 dice per turn. Roll them one at a time. You take turns, and then at the end of the round, where you check where your dice are and you multiply it. So if I rolled a 6 and it's on step number 3, I have 18 points. If I have 1 and it's on level 2, it's 2 points, etc. You play 3 rounds, most points wins. This has been such a huge hit at Good Time Society. I came back after a week. I'm there every week. I came back after a week. All of a sudden, there was a leaderboard with high scores. There's averages. I'm like, what the? So you don't have to go that hardcore, but I think it's really fun. And this has always been a hit with my family. So Thanksgiving comes around. This is always at the table. So this has been my most reliable introductory board game, Tumblin Dice.
Looks sick.
I played it for the very first time at Origins about a month ago, and I had a great time. I was terrible at it.
Yeah. If you have an adult beverage or two, I believe you get a little better. That's what I've heard.
For sure.
So take it a grain of salt. But what about you, Reg? What's been your introductory game?
Yeah, so this is a topic that is very dear to me, and it's one of the questions that I will not ever remove. My whole kind of thing is being welcoming, and I love when Dice Tower has a welcoming game award, and I like that type of stuff. So mine that I'll pick for this is my more recent obsession, and that is Got 5 here, and this is from Blue Orange. I did get a review copy of this. It is a deduction game from the mind Johan Levitt. I always butcher his name, but he did Turing Machine and a couple other. I think he's Chronologic as well. A lot of the big deduction games, and he wanted to make a family weight one. You'll see there's 60 tiles, and all their numbers are 1 to 60. It's got this nice little acrylic tile, clicky clacky, kind of like Azul. And each of them also have little dots on them. You can see there's dots underneath, and they're a different color. Everyone's going to have a board of their things, kind of like a Scrabble holder, and they're going to know they'll have one of each color, and they're going to know that their numbers are from lowest to highest, from left to right. And your job is to figure out what your 5 numbers are before the rest of the players. And you're going to get to immediately mark off, if you're playing 4-player, 15 other numbers. If they're in front of your opponents, they're not in front of you. And then there's going to be 5 in the middle that are face up. If they're in the middle of the table, they're not in front of you. And on the front of the box, it says it's deduction madness with bingo vibes or something like that. Because on your turn, you take one of the face down tiles in the middle, you flip it face up and say, blue 13, blue 13. And so everybody crosses off the blue 13, because if it's in the middle of the table, it's not in front of you. And then you get to do one of 2 things. And on your player shield, it has 2A and 2B. And 2A is you get to ask someone to sort it. So they might just sort that number anywhere in those little divots there based on where it should go. And what he's showing on the video right now is the 2B, which is to compare. And you say, does this have the same amount of dots as the number? You take one of the tiles from the middle, put it up, and the other opponents have to say yes or no. And then you're like, oh, I know my red tile does not have 1 dot. So he turned it horizontal, that orange 35. So I know that this is behind. So I know this is not a match. So I cross off all the ones that are red on my board. And it usually is about a 20-minute game. I get it. And I've actually been tracking rounds on BG Stats. So it's usually about 6 or 7 rounds. Nice. So it's fast. My wife got hers in 4 rounds once. I am obsessed with this game. I've played it 20 times already. It's so fast. Shout out to Got 5.
Nice. I haven't played this one yet, but I love Blue Orange games. I feel like they're always, doing games that are great for this type of, introductory to board games. Cool.
How do you track rounds on BG Stats? Like, is that a specific within the play?
Yeah, it's just one of when you hit play. Yeah, and so I don't do it for many games. I'll do it for something like Skip-Bo. Like if we played like 5 rounds of Skip-Bo in a row, I'll just say rounds instead of logging it 5 times. I don't know why. It doesn't matter to do that. But in this, it's been nice to go back and see. Yeah.
I like that because I have so many Coup is my most played game, or like One Night Werewolf is my most played game, and like. That doesn't kind of represent a session, it represents, we played it like 4 or 5 times, so I got to look.
That's exactly what I do. It's right there.
Good for me to know.
Yeah. There you go. BG Stats, man. But also, I just wanted to say, I don't even like deduction. So that's why I really wanted to shout this out. Is like this game is like an introductory deduction game that has kind of made me think maybe I do like deduction, or maybe I don't like deduction when it's too heavy. Maybe that's just what it is. So,
Reg, I'm right there with you. I am not a deduction guy, but this looks like it's in my wheelhouse, and I love Turing Machine, so that's why I was like immediately interested because of the same designer. So. Cool. All right, Chris, what you got for us?
Cool. All right, I'm going to shout out some ones in the comments.
Okay.
We've got Sean saying Denup and Waddle. Sean, I don't think we played Waddle together, but Waddle is a great pick. Waddle is friggin' awesome.
And I love Denup.
We have Oh yeah. We had Santorini, Hanamikoji, and Cascadia, Bargain Quest, and Machikoro.
Great answers.
And then also
nice.
A shout out to Carcassonne.
Nice.
So really good ones. But for my introductory sort of game is one that I always love shouting out. This is Holotype. So Holotype is a very not that well known, but I think it's an awesome game. It's Lords of Waterdeep-esque in that you're just pushing cubes and the theme don't matter. But the theme is you're researching dinosaurs. You're putting your workers out. You have a big worker and a small worker. The big worker gets to do the better version of all the spots. And also you can bump your height or lower. And so you're going around, you're trying to get the cubes that you need to publish these dinosaur papers. What I really like about Holotype is that the worker placement spots are simple. It's just grabbing cubes and then spending cubes on dinosaurs. But there's a lot of really elegant mechanics in there to upscale it in the bumping aspect, the different powers for the different workers. Once you've published 3 dinosaurs, you get a middle worker that you can run around. When you're going to get cubes in the field expedition, as you can see there on the screen, you flip over a card and you roll that many dice and get that many of the fossils. And so there's a little bit of a randomness there as you delve to try to get the color that you want. And then also once there are a certain number of dinosaurs published, the game ends. But as you go through, everybody gets to level themselves up at certain points during the game. I think that's just such an awesome, fun thing of, 5 total dinosaurs are published. Great. We're like a third of the way through the game. Everybody gets a special power now, and you have like a choice of 6 different special powers to add in. So you don't really need to explain that at the beginning, but it builds in like asymmetry as the game progresses. And so I just think this game is awesome. It always hits well when I'm teaching people, and it's in that nice middle ground where Lords of Waterdeep sits for me, which is like, that was my first worker placement game. And this is a great like first worker placement game, builds in a lot of building blocks for mechanisms, and it isn't too overwhelming. And it's got a theme about publishing dinosaurs, which people can say, oh, I like that, and then not engage with the theme throughout the game because it doesn't matter. So I think it's great. I think it's really, really good. I like this game a ton, and always love shouting it out.
Nice. I have a copy of this game, Chris. I've not played it yet, but just based on this, I'm going to open it up and I'm going to bring it to next game night and introduce something. It looks great.
It's really
super
straightforward.
Simple.
Cool.
I've played it back in. I have to give a quick thing. I played it back in OrcaCon. I really like this game. It's on I have a very short list of want to buy games, and it's been on it for like over a year, and I'm just waiting for it to go on sale somewhere. It's a little hard to find. Definitely a hidden gem.
It is. It was a small.
And I don't think you mentioned the workers they have like the. I'm going to mess up the terminology, but it's like there's the paleontologist, the intern, and the researcher, and they're like different strengths. Like the intern gives you, worse results if you go somewhere, it's really cool.
Nice. All right, let's see what Richard's got for his most reliable introductory game.
Okay, most reliable gateway. This is a tough topic for me, but Chris, Holotype, yes, I know you love it. I look forward to maybe getting a chance to play it with you someday, because man, you love these dinosaurs. And Got5 and Tumblin Dice, yep, perfect examples. For me, here's my problem. I have zero use for gateway games. Usually, gateway is a kiss of death for me and Jen because, we don't need a gateway into the hobby. We found ours many, many years ago in the former pandemic, and generally, gateways tend to be a little bit too lightweight for me and Jen. But I still wanted to have a topic or one for. So, of all the games I've played so far in 2026, the gateway that I most likely would want to use if I were in a circumstance where I need a gateway to try to convince, unassuming normies who don't understand what board games are all about. I thought about it long and hard, and I think my choice would be the Networks Primetime. Hey, Reggie! It's our first crossover on the list. This is actually one of the things that was most surprising to me. I would never have considered the original Networks to be a gateway game at all. But Gil Hova and the folks at All Play, when they brought out the Networks Primetime, which is literally the Networks 2. Okay, another surprise, I'm going to sidestep here, is how badly Board Game Geek has botched the classification of the Networks Primetime, because they didn't give the Networks Primetime its own separate entry in the database. They just replaced the Networks with Networks Primetime, and it's absurd. It creates so much confusion because the Networks Primetime has radically changed the Networks. It's a totally different game. Board Game Geek, what are you doing? Would you please fix this? I have personally edited and tried to get this fixed at least 2 or 3 times now, but they just ignore it and leave this. All right, sorry. We're not talking about surprises. We're not talking about Board Game Geek database management. That is not the topic for today. But it drives me nuts. I've never seen a bigger mistake that Board Game Geek has made than their classification as the Networks Primetime as, the exact same game as the Networks. It's not. Because it's an amazing gateway now. If you, the Networks Primetime strips out a lot of the depth and complexity of the original Networks and makes it very easy to pick up and play. And between the humor and the wacky art and the subject matter, I think everybody can invest themselves in, because everybody's had a favorite TV show they've loved at some point in their life. And everybody's thought, who picks these shows that are such garbage on network TV? Well, now it's your job to come up with the best show and develop it and shepherd it and, deal with falling ratings and decide to cancel it. The story that's told in this game, I think, is very appealing, because it's not just, a simple collection of, abstract mechanisms. I think telling a story that will be engaging to people is a great way to surprise them and say, oh, board games aren't what you think they are, because most people have preconceived notions. So then the other thing is, if you get the Networks Primetime Megacorp expansion, it brings all the original Network stuff back into the game, and some other new stuff besides, and turns it back into a deep, crunchy game. So the Networks Primetime is a game that can grow with you. You could get pulled into the hobby with this, and then pick up the expansion and see, oh my gosh, look how deep this rabbit hole goes of gaming goodness. If I needed a gateway, the one I played that I would run to the most in 2026 has to be the Networks Primetime. And please, for the love of Pete, Board Game Geek, please split this into its own separate game. It makes no sense. It drives me nuts. Anyway, sorry. I'm going to stop ranting about that and throw back to y'all.
All right, Richard. Thank you for that. We got nice to see a little crossover in the list again. Networks, Primetime, very cool. Any thoughts, quick thoughts before we move on?
Great game.
Okay,
we're in the home stretch. Let's get in time.
Let's do it.
Let's do this. So, our number 6 question, Reggie asks, is which Cult of the Old title, 10 plus years or older, did you discover for the first time this year? And I'll kick things off. The one that I discovered, friends, is a game that I hope I pronounce it correctly. The Adventurers, the Temple of Chac, or Chac. I think it's Chac. Oh. Yeah. This one, my buddy Matt, the Silver Medal Tavern, showed this one to me at a recent game night, and it's basically Indiana Jones theme from Fantasy Flight from, it looks like about 15, 16 years ago, where you're going into the dungeon, or not the dungeon, the, trying to find treasures somewhere hidden in the
temple or something.
Yeah. And you can see there's a rock that may drop on you, your fellow adventurers. It's a push your luck game. It's it's actually really straightforward. You're just moving along here, trying to avoid the bad stuff while getting your treasures and getting out of there before you get trapped. So every round there's going to be some debris falling, which is in the form of these little barriers or whatever. And if you get trapped in there, you're just done. You're just dead and you lose, and all your treasures suck, and you are also entombed as well. Fun game, new to me, and I'd never heard of it. Matt said that Fantasy Flight came out with this many years ago, and it's been out of print, but recently it's coming back apparently this year. Here's the new page with the new art. Yeah. So, the Adventurer's Temple of Chac, or Chac, and they don't really have much on it except the description and that one box image. So apparently there's enough here that people liked it enough to say, hey, we need another version of this. So that'll be coming soon.
Nice.
Legally distinct.
Yes, totally. Yeah. All right, Reg, what you got for us?
Mine I just played last week for the first time, and that is Biblios from 2007.
Yeah.
Shout out to Steve Finn's, I guess his standout game. I don't know if it's highest ranked or whatever. I think it is.
Yeah. Yep.
Wow, what a game. I knew I would like it, to be honest. I knew I would. Even when the rules were made, this is just in my wheelhouse of these big chunky dice that never get rolled. They just indicate the value of that suit. There's 5 suits. And on your turn, you look at 5 cards one at a time. One needs to go to you. One needs to go to that deck that he was showing Rahdo there. It's called the auction deck. And 3 need to go face up for the other players around the table, if you're playing 4-player, to draft and grab in turn order. And then you do that you do that until the deck runs out. And there's a second phase where you go and auction those cards. There's a lot of clever stuff that goes on. I don't need to go into those details, but it is just so much game in such a small package. Another one that's so hard to find. I hope that this gets a reprint. It's kind of mind-boggling that it doesn't, because it's so beloved within the hobby from what I've heard. But I also think I would like this if it had a re-theme. If they did if they took this game and re-implemented it, I probably would I would buy it in a heartbeat. So Biblios, I can't believe I hadn't played it yet, but what a great little filler game.
Yeah, agreed. I think this is it is Steve Finn's masterpiece of his type of 20-minute games.
Opus.
Folks, if you've never played it, it's basically for sale, but with some set collection added to it. It's terrific. Great choice, Reg. Very, very nice. All right, Chris, what you got?
All right, some that are popping up in chat. Kim has said, the bloody end for me. Pass. So discovered and pass, which I thought was funny. Through the desert, Sean saying Through the Desert, which is great with that re-implemented new production.
Yep.
Also discovered Yokohama this year, Kim is saying, and didn't pass. It's amazing. But for me, the one that I discovered has been sitting on my shelf of shame for so long, and I just checked because I was like, I hope it's 10 years ago. It is. It's 2016, Cry Havoc.
Nice. Yes.
Cry Havoc is great. It was on my shelf because I knew I would like it, and I just hadn't gotten around to playing it. And then I finally got around to playing it. I played it 3 players because I was waiting to play it with 4 players because I was like, I heard that it was best of 4, but actually it isn't. It's best at 3, especially for learning the new game, because the 4th faction is an all-powerful faction. And so if you add it in, they start with a pretty dominant presence on the board. And then you just kind of all have to take them down. So I really like it being 3, and then the 4th faction sort of activates as an AI character with little buffers. It's a great area control game. And the battle process, the reason why I knew I would like it is because it gave me some familiarity or similarities to Rising Sun, which is my favorite game.
Yep.
And I like the bidding of troops and assigning troops on advantages and using your troops in a strategic way and going back and forth with the defender and the attacker and being all right, I can do this. And then that counters you here. There's a nice neat little puzzle. And I like the asymmetry of the factions too. So very happy that it was on my shelf of shame for a long time, so long. And I didn't get rid of it because I was like, I know I will enjoy this game because I'd read through the rulebook a couple times, and I did, and it was great. And so I'm very happy to Chris of the Past for getting that the secondhand copy and not getting rid of it. So
very rare that you don't have buyer's remorse or you don't just toss it before you even got to play it. But it seems like a cool one.
Yeah, very. Chris, I think I've mentioned this game on the show before. I love this game, and I'm so glad you got to play it because it does have some similarities. And you're right, that combat mechanism of assigning troops, brilliant. And I'm surprised more games don't actually steal that. I think it's a really clever mechanism. Cool. Yeah. All right, Richard, what's your choice?
All right. Cult of the Old. All right, Reggie, you win. Biblios is phenomenal, and I hope that gets a permanent spot on your shelf. It has, certainly mine, is Steve Finn's greatest designs, and he's got a dozen amazing designs, and plus a lot more really good games too that he's done over the years. But Biblios is something really special. Chris Cry Havoc, not my cup of tea. And well, I would certainly love to try the Adventurers, either one of them, some point in my life. But I know it's not going to be for me. I have to admit, I'm just really intrigued by the toy factor of that big boulder. Is Temple of Chalk the one with the boulder? I don't remember. I remember there were two of them. Anyway, this is a tough topic for me because, Reggie, this made me go back and do an advanced search on Board Game Geek to show every game that came out before 2016, 10 years ago. And I spent a long time going through that list, trying to find a game that I had not played that I really, really, really want to play, and that I'm seeking out. Because here's the deal. Thus far this year, I have not played anything from 2016 or earlier. And the reason? Because there's literally nothing from 2016 or earlier that's really speaking to me as must play. I am fortunate enough that I got into the hobby 15 years ago, back when it was possible to play every great game that came out every year, or at least every game that you really wanted to play. And I am fortunate enough to say that, yeah, if I go for less than 10 years, if I look at the last 5 years, there's definitely games I've missed that I want to play, because these days, who can play everything? But back in the day, I could play, and I did play everything I ever wanted to play. There's just nothing waiting for me. So I'm going to cheat a little bit and say my Cult of the Old experience for the first half of 2026 was Raw, because I think Raw is phenomenal. The new deluxe 25th Century Games Edition is beautiful as all get out. But I mean, I loved my old, Dutch 999. I forget who the publisher of my Dutch copy of Raw that I've had forever. I mean, I had Raw back when it was officially a 3-player minimum game, and it's only because the Board Game Geek community players realized, Reiner Knizia missed a trick. It's a great 2-player auction if you just make some tweaks. It's great that the new version has finally officially recognized how brilliant it is as a 2-player game. And here's the deal. Up until this year, I had only ever played Raw as a 2-player game with my wife, Jen. This year, though, I did go to a local board game convention, NaveCon, here in Ireland, and I was playing some other games with folks who wanted to play all the cults of the new. I had several games that hadn't released yet, and everybody wanted to play all these new ones. But there were a couple of guys who looked through the library at the convention, and they saw, oh, look, here's Raw. We've never played that. Have you ever played this, Rahdo? And like, have I ever played Raw? Bring it over here. I'm going to blow your minds with maybe what is arguably the greatest auction game of all time, or certainly top 5 greatest auction games. And we sat down and played it, and it was my first time I'd ever played it with more than 2. We played a 3-player game, and oh my gosh, I now understand why Reiner Knizia didn't ever want to put, or decided not to put, 2-player, because man, I've always loved as a 2-player, but oh my gosh, it is so much better once you get that 3rd player on the table. Although still, I am never getting rid of Raw. It is an amazing 2-player auction, but geez Louise, it is next level brilliance, and I am so happy that those fellas at NaveCon, because I feel I've played this game like 15, 20 times. What am I going to get out of it? Oh, I got a lot. I got hit with a big side of Cult of the Old, and it opened my eyes, and I really enjoyed playing Raw for the first time ever as a 3-player game. Okay, back to everybody.
Okay, thank you, Richard. I'm so glad you got to play it at more than 2 players, because I played Raw once with 2 players, never again. I mean,
never again.
Yeah, it was what it was. But 3 players and up, brilliant. Yeah, it's the one way to experience the brilliance that is Raw. Well done, Richard. Moving right along, we are going from the Cult of the Old to the Cult of the New. This is question number 7 on the list. This is, what is currently at the top of your wish list? And I'm going to kick things off here. This one came across it came across my radar about a month ago on the Good Morning Society show. It is a game called, let me get the right name, Strange Slot Simulator. It is wacky. It looks like a slot machine, right? We're looking at a slot machine. It is a slot machine deduction game, friends, of all things. So you and your fellow slot machine owners have a slot machine, and you're going to be flipping over cards and writing things down as you do there. Not much is available on this game. It's going to be out at Gen Con apparently, or the publisher's going to be there. So I want to go run over to their. Well, I'm not going to run. I'm going to safely get to that booth and talk to them about this game, because I think it's really intriguing to me. Like, look at this. You're going to be trying to figure out what everyone else's slot machine has. I've never seen anything like this. The combination of mechanisms doesn't make any sense to me, but at the same time, I totally want to play this. Strange Slot Simulator. And I got to be really careful with that name, because that last simulator part sometimes turns into something.
No, say it 5 times fast.
Strange Slot Simulator. No, I'm not gonna do it. But that's on my list, folks. Let's see, Reggie, what do you got on your wish list?
Let me just say, PSA, please don't run at conventions. And
Yes.
while we're at it, please don't run at
Agreed.
Disneyland either. Like, just be an adult. Okay. I'm going to
Nice.
talk about, what are we talking about here? Wish list. Okay. So
Yes.
I was at Origins, and I got the pleasure of meeting and spending a lot of time with Peter C. Hayward, designer of many, many games.
Yes.
I also played 2 of his prototypes. And I got to say, this guy is like a mad genius. Like, he's one of those like mad scientist type guys. He's always designing. And of course, mine is what I hadn't backed at the time of writing this, but now I have actually backed this on whatever crowdfunding it's on, Rolling Deep. It looks so incredible. I'm such a Balatro head. Like, I love Balatro, played a lot of that on Steam. I couldn't even download it on my phone because it would have been so dangerous to have Balatro. And this is Balatro inspired, but with dice. It's got the Cuphead. They call that rubber hose art, which I don't love, even though I love flip tunes. But the mechanics of this game look so amazing. These big, chunky dice that Bitewing is doing. You pop off the sides to make a face, and you can upgrade your dice. You get cards that upgrade what you do, and just each time you're like, right now you see that yellow circle on screen, your goal is to just roll a 6, and you only have 3 dice, and some of them faces are zeros, and then it just keeps getting harder and harder, but you keep upgrading your dice. It's a completely solo only roguelite experience. Yes, this is the guy who's the blue hair guy, Peter C. Hayward. I am on a kick with blue hair. He's awesome. I gotta say, he's very confident in his ability to make games, but he makes some very great games. I gotta be honest. I'm so hyped for this. I cannot wait. 2027. I will be playing this nonstop when I get my hands on it.
Heck yeah. I'm looking forward to this. Peter Hayward, he is a Southern California guy, so I get to run into him every now and then. Super cool guy, and I think he's a mad genius as well. Reg, very very good call. Chris, what you got for us?
Yeah, the one that I'm the most excited to play, I have, but it's in shrink. So I'm cheating, but it's on my wish list. Like, I just got it, and so I'm really really excited to play it. This is Recall. And this is sort of the spiritual successor to Revive. I love Revive. It's in my top 20, maybe top 10 games of all time. And anything that just tacks on spiritual successor of one of my favorite games, I'm obviously going to be excited about it. I don't really know how they interact. I think it is a little bit further away from Revive than you might expect it to be, being called a spiritual successor, but you are like going and exploring and flipping over and interacting with the board. I'm really stoked about it. I cannot wait to bust open my copy and take some time and read through the rules and teach it to people and do reviews and do all that sort of stuff. But yeah, it is the highest on my. I was like looking at other games. I was like, no, I want to play the game that I just got. I don't want to talk about anything else. I want to play the game that I got. Right. And Recall, I think this one's just gonna. Oh, I'm so stoked. If it's anywhere close to Revive, it'll be a rip roaring.
All I've heard is, and I haven't even played Revive. Oh, interesting. Dutch Yoda just said the opposite of what I've heard, but that Revive's problems. If you like Revive, but you have problems with it, it fixes those issues, is what I've heard from the people I watch. So I'm curious if you'll like it.
Yeah, I bet. I love Revive. I'm sorry, Dutch Yoda, that you have not found the way.
Seen the light.
Yeah.
Yes, but one of these days you will realize that Revive is the way.
It is the way. And let's see what Richard's got in his way for the top of his wish list.
Okay, next topic. Oh, wish list. What's at the top of my wish list? What's at the top of your guys's? First of all, Chris, good choice, sir. Recall is phenomenal. It is my second highest ranked game of 2025. Last year, it is absolutely great. Everybody who loves Euros needs to give it a go. And then what do we got? Rolling Deep. Reggie, this looks great. And it breaks my heart that it's a solo-only game because I need 2 players on that box. Peter Hayward, please come up with a scheme where if you get 2 copies of it, it'll work as a 2-player game. I mean, look how great Impatience did, the publisher, with Mayor of Chicago. It can be done because it looks really good. Reggie, good call. And then Ruel, Strange Slot Simulator. Yeah, this looks nice too. Actually, I'm reminded last year I played a deck builder called Jackpot, and I was surprised how engaging I found the idea of simple slot machine mechanics brought into board gaming. So a roll and write, yeah, that makes perfect sense. A good choice also. So what am I most excited about? Well, we just did the last R&R was a Gen Con look ahead. We've already done our most anticipated for this year. So I'm jumping ahead like Reggie into next year. I'm talking about 2020. What is at the top of my most anticipated for 2027? There can be only one. It is Niraya from Danny Garcia, my second favorite designer of all time, and super hot publisher DeVere. I actually last year spent a day in Barcelona hanging out at Danny's apartment talking design, for hours, and I loved it. Danny, I had a great time. Thank you for being such a gracious host. And I talked a lot with Danny about, how he got to where he is now and what he's got coming in the future. And I don't know if he'd agree with this, but it really feels to me like Niraya is his most excited, passionate game because turns out the man loves time travel. He is a huge, huge fan of it. And this is his version of a time travel game because what is it? This is a game of archaeology. We're digging up relics from an ancient, forgotten, society, prehistory culture and scoring points by doing it. But that's only one half of the game. The other half of the game, literally the other board next to our dig site where we're digging up all this stuff and classifying it and publishing papers about it and doing all just that. I'm interested because I love that topic. And I would love to see a crunchy, heavy Euro because normally that topic is generally lightweight affair. I'm talking Thebes, stuff like that, or Pergamon. But the other half of this game, the other board is at the same time that we're digging up the stuff, we are playing a separate early prehistory civilization game where we are the ancient lost society. And we are making decisions about the growth and evolution of that culture and creating the artifacts that on the other board we will actually dig up. So it's these 2 separate games that are, interdependently linked, that have totally different styles of gameplay. That, like I said, Danny, he loves time travel, and rather than just making a time travel game, he said, well, let's make time and the passage of time the star of this game, but do it in a way that is totally fresh and new. Because that's when I come to a Danny Garcia game, I want and I expect, and he always delivers something truly fresh and original and just brilliantly conceived and wonderfully executed. So my biggest, most anticipated game for 2027 at the top of my wish list has to be Niraya. Okay, let's go back to you, Gal.
All right, Richard, thank you. Yeah, Niraya looks terrific. We got a couple more questions we want to get through here. We're going to head out to number 8, which is shout out a creator, podcast, blog, or local game store that made your year better. And I've already alluded to this. This is going to be a super easy one for me to answer. For me, the Mahjong Sosyal. Oh, it's not up there. I'm going to do something real quick here.
They're just secret. They're a secret society.
Beautiful.
They're so cool that you all don't get to see them.
Club.
Yeah, the secret society of Mahjong that Ruel's been inducted into. That masquerades as the storefront. There's a deep underbelly that Ruel has infiltrated.
Yes, there it is. No secret anymore, folks. Mahjong Sosyal. They're based in LA. This is a group led by Alex and crew. They've been so wonderful, so welcoming. I love the culture that they've created, the community that they've created here. They've just been around for a couple of months, but what they've done something really cool. Every third Saturday of the month, they're hosting Filipino style Mahjong. And this is within the greater scope of things here in the LA, Southern California area, where you can literally go every single day of the week to a different style of Mahjong at a different cafe somewhere in Southern California. They've meant so much to me, and Michelle and I have had a great time hanging out with the crew there. But let's move on to Reggie. What about you? Do you have anything that you want to share?
I'm going to shout out. I did many of these, but I just want to shout out these awesome gentlemen from Canada, fellow countrymen for room and board of Kavre. I want to shout out Kavre because I think they make such great content so consistently. And they cover a bunch of games. They make short tutorials, and I've just been watching them so much this year. And I really want to shout out Ilya, works for Druid City Games, and so he also sent me some games too. So I think that like kind of has also indoctrinated me, or what's the word I'm looking for? That's not the word. I like them more. Yeah. And so it's been awesome to see that. I feel like the reason I want to shout them is I don't think they actually get the views that they deserve for how much
Agree.
Like I mean, I have put out like 24 videos in entirety of YouTube, and they're putting out like 24 videos in half a year. So I just think, and they're high quality. So shout out to the Kavre folks out there is who I wanted to give a shout out to.
Great call. Yeah,
great shout out. Yeah, great shout out. Their rules explanations, I think, are not some of the best in the business, are the best in the business.
Because it's just so quick and to the point too,
Yeah.
I know, I read a lot of rule books in crowdfunding, and I always am angry when there's no rule book on the page. The one time I'll give a campaign grace is if they have a Kavre video up, because I know that they're so thorough and like precise that you can get a really good grasp of how to play. I think they should have so many subscribers. Agreed. They're so talented, and they work very hard, and they make really great content.
Yeah. And legit, they're like two of the nicest people you're going to meet too in the industry. Yeah. They're legit, like super, super nice people. Awesome. Great call. Chris, who do you got for us?
Well, I might have a spotty internet, but I'm going to fight through it because I need to shout out probably the nicest person in the board gaming industry that I've ever met. Ever. This is John from Chits and Cardboard. So Chits and Cardboard is a duo. It's John and Jeff, but they always kind of attend Breakout Con, which is a Toronto convention. John is on the right, Jeff is on the left there. They're going through their top 50 games right now. They always have like really fun production value as well. But I'll tell you, I was at Breakout Con running events and just doing like a little mini World Series of Board Gaming tournament. And for like maybe the second year in a row or the third year in a row, I forget. I think it's just the second year in a row. John was like, always teaching me games, always playing stuff with me, always so welcoming and so open. And so he's the type of guy who like brings people to the table, brings a huge group of people. It doesn't just like sit down with his own clique of people. He's always like opening his table to people who are around and like teaching anybody who will walk by. He's like one of the nicest guys. I'm so thrilled to have met him, and like I really like hanging out with him. I think he's a great friend. I went up to his house in Barrie. It's like a 45-hour drive away from Toronto. Played some games with him before I left to Halifax. And it's like I'd met him the previous Breakout Con, and we connected. I was like, that's cool. And then going back to Breakout, I was like, oh, I really hope John's there, because like I really liked hanging out with him. And so only got to get to know him a little bit more. Super, super nice guy. They don't post a ton of videos because they try to coordinate both of their schedules, but they also have really great quality content. Just go give them a subscribe, because like honestly, and Jeff's great too. I just haven't. I went up to John's house and Jeff wasn't there the last time. But like it was. I don't know. There's no shade to Jeff. Jeff's an awesome guy, but like, John just kind of like. It's one of those people who is just so warm and welcoming and opens the door, because like it's really easy, especially if you're bringing like a big crew with you to a convention, to just like sit and play with that crew. And he goes like actively out of his way to like bring other people in and to see, like he's the type of person, if somebody's wandering around looking, he'll stand up and he'll engage with them, and he'll like say, oh, come sit down. Like he's awesome, super awesome dude. I think he's awesome, and he's like it's a really lovely new friend that I made this year. So
that's
just
great.
Really, really lovely and special. And
love it.
That's so
love
cool.
John too. He's great.
Yeah, I don't think I've met them, but I just subscribed to their channel. So, folks, that is Chits and Cardboard. Go subscribe. And, we need more of that in the board game world. In the world in general, we need more nice people. So that's always a good thing. Let's see what Richard's got for us. Richard.
Okay, shout-out time. Let's see. Well, I do not know what Mahjong Sosyal is, but I agree. Shout-out to them. Reggie. Kavre, great choice. I love those guys, as does my wife, Jen. I watch a lot of YouTube board game content, and if Jen's walking by and she sees their smiling faces on the channel, she always says, "Who are those nice young fellas? They seem really lovely." And they are. And then Chris, I have to admit, I do not know Chits and Cardboard. I'll have to check them out. But I am going to do a quick shout out now for Neon Gorilla. Actually, this is my second time I've shouted him out. Back a few years ago when I was doing a weekly shout out show where I was just trying to tell everybody about all these great channels they're missing out on. I mentioned Neon Gorilla because he's a relatively new channel. He's slowly growing. He's almost hit the 10K mark. Good job. But he is always trying new stuff. He is not just sticking to tried and true, hey, here's all the top 10s and all of that. And what he's been doing this year, I really appreciate. He has been doing a series of interviews with board game makers and also board game media folks. And the thing that drives him nuts, because it drives me nuts. Like, where is one? Here he is talking to Ivy Studios, only 1.8 thousand views, but almost 3 times as much with a board game YouTube channel, Board Game Hangover. Here's my second favorite designer of all time, Danny Garcia, only 800 views. But meanwhile, if or Cole Worley, only 500 views. But you go to Board Game Bollocks, hey, there's 14,000 views. You talk to Tom Vassell, there's 26,000 views. And I'm sure he has been frustrated. I'm sure he agrees with me that, there's this cult of celebrity around board game media. We're ancillary. The people that gamers should be excited to hear from are the people who are making the games. And yet, these videos don't do anywhere near as well as when he interviews board game media personalities. So what he has done, here's what I'm shouting out for. He's starting a new series called Hot Rolls. He's done 2 episodes so far. I think they are both recommended to me, and rightly so, YouTube algorithm. The first one was sitting down with Nick Murray of Bitewing Games, and the second one was with designer Emily Vincent. And what he's doing is trying to get board game geeks to pay attention to board game developers, because that's where the future of the industry is. You want to know about what's going on? You love your hobby? Then don't listen to the celebrities, the YouTube people. Listen to the people who actually make the game. So what he's doing is he's actually playing the games with the developers. And by the way, Rolling Deep. Reggie, Rolling Deep. You got to check this out. He sits down and plays a full game of Rolling Deep, but while playing the game and talking about the development of the game, but also talking about the behind the scenes stuff, and also talking about the strategy of how to win at the game. It's brilliant. And then Emily Vincent, I've already mentioned her recently. Didn't we talk about her in the last R&R? She is a hot designer, up and comer. I mean, I was so impressed with Knitting Circle, and I was so impressed with Perennials. And now, having checked this out, I am so impressed by Good Kitties, a cooperative kitty cats taking over the household and blaming it all on the dogs game. And he got to play it. I mean, this game isn't going to be coming out till next year, but you can see it now. You can get advanced sneak peeks. But Neon Gorilla is using his platform to put the developers and designers front and center instead of media people. And I think that's brilliant, and I love it, and I want to shout out. I want more people to know about it. So anyway, there's my shout out. Back to y'all.
All right. Thank you, Richard. I'm not aware of Neon Gorilla. I immediately subscribed. That sounds wonderful. I love that approach to content. and I can't wait to check out more.
I have to give him a shout out because I can actually call him a friend. He was the person I was at Origins with the whole time.
Nice.
He's from Seattle, and us Pacific Northwesterners very much stick together when we're out in the Midwest or anywhere else. And his interviews with these people have been so amazing, and he has his own app. He's trying to basically compete with Board Game Geek, and it's called Cardboard. I put it in the chat, cool. And it's definitely more tailored towards the user experience. But shout out to David Neon Gorilla. He's awesome.
Right on. Thank you for that, Reggie. And, since we're talking about content, why don't we wrap things up with the final question? It's the bonus question on your mid-year board game tag, Reg. This is, what is this one? This is, what's your favorite piece of content you've created this year? Really cool way to approach it. I like that. Turns it back on us and see what we're going to talk about. I'll start things off here. My favorite piece of content, I've been involved with the Good Morning Society show for almost 3 years now. We're going on two and a half years over the Good Time Society channel. And I'm proud of this one here where Becca and I celebrated our 100th episode recently. So 100 episodes in, we had our set designer, Emily, come in, made it a little more festive. And there we are looking back on episode 1 when we were just but babies in the studio there for the first episode. I'm proud of the show we've done and we're doing. It's means a lot to me to be able to work with Becca and also Jake Michaels. They're friends, but also they're colleagues that have meant a lot to me personally in my career. They've given me a lot of opportunities and I'm always forever grateful for that. And when I pitched the show to Becca and Jake a couple of years ago, they immediately were fully on board. So I'm really excited about that. It's basically a weekly show of board games, beverages, and shenanigans. It's like Good Morning America, but with board games, and I'm so proud of it. So proud that we got to episode 100 as well. So we're continuing on, and we're going to be doing something at Gen Con next week too, folks. So tune in to Gen Con, Good Time Society. You'll see our show from the convention itself. Okay, enough of my spiel for my favorite piece of content. Reggie or Chris, I didn't really get any notes on this. Did you all have something to share?
If you know, I said I had a baby, so my 6-month-old baby, so that's the entire year. She was born in January. So I haven't made any YouTube besides this literal video that for this tag that we're doing. I have some more stuff coming out, but I just want to shout out Board States if you want to put anything on screen.
Yes.
My podcast with Jazz at the Lobby of Hobbies. We release 2 episodes a month. And our first August episode will be with Ruel. So the very next episode is going to be about solo gaming. And then the episode after that will be with Ruel. So shout out to Board States. It is such an awesome thing to do with this, with a really awesome friend of mine and co-host Jazz. So yeah, we have 18 episodes out and Ruel will be episode 20. So yeah, if you have not listened to that, go check out. I do think we have the best logo in the biz in all of podcasts, in my personal opinion, made by Kenan, aka Punchboard Cathedral. So love it.
Nice. Great logo. Great time. Nice. Yeah, folks, stay tuned for that. I had a really good time. I love Reggie and Jazz and good people, and go check out the podcast. Chris, what about you? You want to shout anything out that you've done?
Yeah, I didn't see this question when I was filling it out, but I saw it when I was looking at my notes. So I think I'll say a couple things that I like doing on my channel. Yeah. Me and my buddies did a paid playthrough of Roth, which I thought was a lot of fun. We dressed up as stupid costumes, and that was a lot of fun. Should always do.
Were you drenched in pink?
I was, clothing? Yes.
I
painted half of my face pink.
Awesome.
Yeah, and so it's always just fun, just like hanging out and being able to goof around with your buds and having a costume budget, which is just janky. And then my other favorite thing that I did just recently is I went through the Attack on Titan deck building game is now renewed. It has season 1, and it was in 2016, and now it's 2026. And I went through every single card and the difference of every single card. So I think, I don't know what this one is. But
I just threw something up. I was panicking.
He's threw something up. Okay, that's perfect. His video. Great. I was like, that's neither of those, but that's fine. I went through every single card on Attack on Titan deck building game and compared it, and it was excited to theory craft about it, and just like nice. I don't know, doing stuff like that or playing Iridia with Zach. Like these are the things that I don't know, they don't do well, but I like doing them, so I just keep doing them. It's the freedom of having your own channel, of doing really weird things, like Slippery Jim appearing on screen right now. So yeah, that's it.
All right,
that's Slippery Jim there.
Friends, if you don't already, please subscribe to Chris's channel as well. Again, we all know how much great work he does, but just in case you haven't subscribed, go check it out. Let's go to Richard. He does have something to share with us here. Richard, take it away.
Okay, special bonus time. Chris and Reggie, I didn't hear what you guys have to say, but Ruel, congratulations on 100 eps of Good Morning Society. Oh, and by the way, congratulations to Becca on the bun in the oven. It's all babies all the time in this particular episode. Congratulations to everyone. All right, anyway, so what am I most proud of? What was the best thing I did this year? Well, I think I'm going to tick some people off and say, sorry, folks, it's for backers of the show only. It's behind a paywall, but man, I have really enjoyed this year bringing a new topic to my monthly Rahdo Rambles, which is a video blog, a blog that I do every month covering a new topic. And twice now this year, I have, on a whim, pretty much, decided to do an entire episode of reaction videos looking at recent top 10 lists from the Dice Tower, and going through everything that Tom and co listed as like, here's top 10 rolling rights. I watched his video and then said, where do I agree with Tom and where do I disagree with Tom? And more often than not, I mean, 4 times out of 5, I'm disagreeing with the man, but still, it was a great opportunity for me to come up with my own list of topics and share with folks who keep Rahdo running, while also pointing out where I agree. Tom and I did agree a few times on a few of these, but this is something, React videos are like a staple in the rest of the YouTube and TikTok. I mean, it's pretty much what drives a lot of modern media content, and also, not for nothing, it's what drives a lot of drama. So I'm not looking to make these public. I am sorry. I don't need any more drama. Over the years, I've had more than enough drama on my channel. So while I am really enjoying this, seeing what Tom thinks, and giving my 2 cents, because whether I agree with him or not, I certainly, you can't deny that Tom has a voluminous knowledge of games. I mean, one of the few people in the industry who plays more games than me, I think. So it was a blast, kind of, ribbing him, but also agreeing with him and then coming up with my own. I think I've now done 7 top 10s with this format, and it seems like my Patreon backers really enjoy it, so I'll probably do it more in the future. And maybe I'll branch out. Brothers Murph, I'm coming for you next. But anyway, it's just been a blast. I have to admit, I really, really enjoy this. Maybe it's some of the most fun I've had making content in years. So these are my monthly Rahdo Ramble, specifically doing react videos to top 10s. And again, I apologize that I'm trying to upsell stuff here. But hey, I didn't pick the topics. Blame Reggie. Okay, back to y'all.
Thanks for upselling, Richard. It's all good. It's your channel. I think that's a great bit. I do enjoy the occasional.
I want to point out one thing. If he needs a channel that does a lot of top 10s, I mean, I know one. It starts with an R and has 2 R's in it. So just throw that out there for some more 10s for the members.
That's right. Folks, that's going to do it for today. We've talked about a ton of games, and we want to thank our guest, Reggie, for coming on over and inspiring us as always with the Midyear board game tag. Thank you, Reggie. There's Chris with the explosions.
Fireworks.
Yeah.
That's how I feel.
Reg, before we get out of here, can you let folks know what you're up to or where they can find you on the interwebs?
Yeah, I'm done going to cons for the year, which is sad, but check me out on YouTube, Rolling Reggie, and I really would love to, if I plug anything, it's the Board States Pod. Jazz has been doing amazing, and if you like Ruel, you should definitely check out our episode 20 coming here soon. That's it. Thank you so much.
Thank you. And Chris, any final words before we wrap things up?
Nah, you know me, room and board. If you're in Halifax, come see me at Shakespeare by the Sea doing Beauty and the Beast. I'm one of those 2 things.
Ooh, only one way to find out, folks. Go to the show. And on that note, we're going to wrap things up here. Thanks again for watching the R&R Show, brought to you by our sponsor today, Starmork Dice Tower. Go check it out on the interwebs. And until next time, we'll see you later. So long. Take care. Bye-bye.